How is your fundraiser going this year? If it's anything less than amazing, it's time to talk to Shawn Murphy at FanPledge. No product to sell, nothing to deliver, and guaranteed results. Raise at least 10% more than your current donation based fundraiser, or it's free. Fun, fast, proven. Call Shawn at 903-948-7348. FanPledge. The champions are already on board. Are you? Band Yap is proudly sponsored by Troubadour Consultants. When it comes to planning group travel for your fine arts program, look no further than Troubadour Consultants. Whether you're organizing a major out of state trip or need top notch accommodations for the state marching contest, John Mize and his team are ready to create a custom travel experience that meets your band's unique needs. As a family owned, band director run company, Troubadour understands exactly what it takes to make your trip stress free and seamless. Plus, when you book a trip with Troubadour, they will sponsor a $500 college scholarship for a student in your band. Directors who book will also receive a free Mollard baton as a special thank you. Visit troubadourconsultants.com today to start planning your next trip with the experts who truly get it.
I actually did a handbell choir for about 5 years too. I had to direct a handbell choir. And you talk about hard with volunteers that don't know anything about. When I took that job, they said, "Well, we make the red notes are right hand, the blue notes are left hand." That was how they played their instruments.
Hello and welcome back to Band Yap. My name is Alexa Sanchez.
And I'm Jose Sanchez.
And today we're going to be taken to church by Spencer Emmert. Hi, Spencer.
What's up, guys? Man, first of all, thank y'all for the invitation. I tell you, this is one of the bigger honors of my career. I'm excited to be here with you guys.
Man.
This is great.
I'm gonna have to live up to that. So, Spencer, can you tell me like where you get your Clark Kent ideology? Like, you are very much a Clark Kent person to me. I feel like once you get into the band director mode, you take off the glasses and you become Superman. Ooh, Sulphur Springs with the S. I got it. Ooh.
All right.
Hey, this is right so funny there. You said that. This is so funny you said this because in high school, I went to Quitman High School. Big Quitman High School. Do you even know where that's at?
Oh, I know where Quitman's at.
Okay. All right. So Quitman High School, and everybody had a nickname. I don't know why, but everybody had a nickname. And my wife is dark-headed, and we were actually high school sweethearts back in the day. And believe it or not, they called me Clark Kent and her Lois Lane. I'm not kidding.
Oh,
that was our high school nicknames. Of course, everybody had a nickname, and they were some of them nice, some of them not nice. But yeah, man, it was crazy. They all called me Clark Kent. That's so funny you said that.
Man, I did no research on that one. I
don't think anyone. No one in the band world knows that really.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I guess now they might know. So anyway,
I
don't know about how much Superman it is, but it's a lot of years of doing stuff wrong and learning from that, and really just learning from others is probably the secret to what we do.
So, all right. Well, Spencer, we're here to know everything about you and your journey. So, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, like background, your education, teaching experience?
Sure. Man, it's interesting because when I went to college, I went to Henderson State in Arkadelphia, which has produced in the past many a great band director. Some of the best band directors in our area of Texas are former ready. So man, when we went off to college, I didn't know if I wanted to go to Commerce or Henderson. Henderson had recruited me pretty hard. Commerce had 80 in their marching band. Henderson had 180 back then. So I went to Henderson, and I actually went in. I was going to go in as an undecided major, and then the scholarship doubled if I chose music. So I went ahead and just chose music to get a better scholarship. Thought, well, I'll change later, and just never changed. Kind of just started having some good success there at the university and the percussion program there. Didn't really want to be a band director, was more interested in percussion instruction. But I was really blessed. Charlie McCauley, who was at Sulphur Springs a long time ago, he was actually my high school band director in Quitman too. he had asked me to come be a consultant down there. And when I was about to student teach, they offered me a job because there was a gentleman who had retired in May. I was student teaching in the fall, offered me a job. Um, and of course, the university said, no, you have to student teach, but we, if you'll apply for this, we'll make an exception. They actually hired commerce professors to come over and observe me. And anyway, it worked out great. I got to student teach there, um, assumed the role that I was already kind of doing in January as a full time teacher. So I got a whole year's credit on TRS, which is awesome. And then just started working there as a percussion instructor. Kind of started doing the seventh grade band. I had 90 in my seventh grade band my first few years, which was crazy. But had a unique first part of my career. The head band director ended up with some health issues, and man, as a young director, I ended up and had to really jump into the deep end as a young director, taking this 5A, back then 4A, but we were what currently is 5A now, band, to contest, and to we played two nationally televised football games on ESPN, one in Wichita Falls, one at home, and we went to the state football championship in San Antonio, and we were having to take the band, and assume all of that and work rehearsals and things through just health concerns of the head director. And there's I've often thought about what would happen if I would have had more of a traditional young director experience versus what I had. And I think kind of I learned a lot, having to do well above maybe my pay grade. Certainly what my experience was. I really had to learn a lot on the fly, and I think that really did help, with a lot of what we do now and how we accomplish what we do. But I stayed 12 years there, and I became the head middle school director at one point. We built the program up. We had had some success with uh, double C honor band over there, and then I went over to Winsboro for 4 years, and that program was in pretty good shape. Ben Scarborough had been there and had done a good job, but there had been a couple of directors between him, and Ben had some things go on that weren't really all that positive and good. So we were rebuilding that program when I got there as a first year head director, and anyway, by the third year we were fifth at state honor band. Everything was rocking and rolling in the 3A class there, and then the director. I was actually still living in Sulphur Springs. My kids were in school there, and my wife teaches elementary music here. Anyway, so my oldest son was in fifth grade, and we were trying to decide, we're going to bring Brody over to Winsboro to be in my band program, or what's going to happen. Maybe keep him in Sulphur Springs since we live there, and it was a bigger school, and we felt maybe had more opportunity, at least more, just maybe more opportunity, or uh, and then just it just worked out where that position opened up, and the superintendent called me, and right then I came back over to Silver Springs, and man, we started building that program back up. Um, and yeah, I guess we're on year 8 now on that, and so it's been a wild ride, but it's been good.
So you have really really deep ties to East Texas then.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so take it back a little bit. So you're originally from Quitman, Texas.
That's correct.
Okay, so how big is Quitman?
Let's see, about 1,400 people, maybe.
1400. Okay,
Yeah,
how many people did you graduate with?
I think 88.
88 people.
88. Yeah,
All right.
88.
Okay.
I was number 7. Number
Okay,
7 out
that's
of
good. Good,
88.
good. Hey, top 10%.
Not too bad. Not too
All right,
bad. Yeah.
that's a win. That
Yeah.
is a win. So like that would be a what that school district is it currently a 3A?
They're I think a Division 2 3A.
Division 2 3A. I'll tell you what, the rural schools are getting smaller.
Yeah.
They
I
really
know,
are.
they are.
Like
They
us,
really are.
we've shrunk. So it's been like, whoa, like hold on. We got asked like, oh, are you going to be going closer to 3A? I'm like, nah, we're still a little ways from that, but
Mhm.
we're closer to it than what were a couple
Okay.
years ago. So Quitman, Texas. That's where you started all. So like you said you're a percussionist by trade. So are you? Let me ask you the real question. This is a good question. Do you prefer match grip or traditional grip?
Man, uh, man, that's a weird one because if you asked me that about 15 years ago, it was all traditional grip. Now I'm certainly an advocate 100% for match grip. It just transfers so much better, uh, and makes more sense, man. We play mallets match grip. We play timpani match grip. We play chimes match grip. There's really no reason. And like my college teacher said, the traditional grip, man, that was invented for the slung drum. We don't use drums that are slung anymore unless you're in like the Aggie band, and maybe a traditional military band. So there's really no reason to have the traditional grip too much anymore. I mean, it looks cool. You can do. I kind of liked it as a player because when I was doing fast rudiments, it was easier for me to separate my right and my left hand easier because they felt different. So when we're doing all these hybrid complex rudiments, the right and left hand, it was easier for me to keep them separate in my mind because they felt different. So in that regard, it's certainly, I think if you're getting really, really into rudimental drumming, there's a case for both sides. We've gone strictly back to match in Sulphur Springs, and it's been good.
Do you have a favorite non-traditional percussion instrument?
It's funny because I was quizzing my current percussion teacher, Cody Brown, on some percussion instruments that I knew what they were, and just to see if he knew, he didn't know some of them. Like, do you know what a kashishi is?
I do not.
Okay, a kashishi. It's like this. You've seen them. They're like a little. It's like a wicker basket, small wicker basket with a handle with like a piece of pottery on the bottom, and you've seen it has like a rattle sound.
Yeah.
And then there's like what about a cuica? You know what a cuica is?
Oh my. Are you,
A
okay.
cuica?
Where are these where are
Yeah,
these instruments from?
a,
Are they
a
African
cuica.
drumming?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're ethnic drumming, but
A,
but
a
a
cuica
cuica,
is
a cuica,
Brazilian, right?
yeah, I think it's Brazilian, and that's the cuica is the one that has like you have like a kind of like a small drum with a drum head, and it's got a little hole in it, and it has a piece of bamboo down inside attached to the inside of the head, and you use a little piece of rosin cloth to go up and down, and it kind of makes that ooh, 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 sound. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
kind of like
cuica.
a lion's roar, but they're small and
Okay,
they
is it
Kind
is
of,
it
yeah,
is it the
yeah.
sound that is done
in Rio.
or Major League
I don't know.
where wow, what's
I know
his
it's in
name?
Rio because it's samba drumming and they have
Yeah,
the.
yeah, yeah. It's certainly in Rio. I know I've heard it in that. I don't know about Major League. You
I
talk
don't
about
know
the
about
Do you
Major
know
League
Major League
Jose.
Baseball, like the movie?
I know the spoof comedy. Yeah, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah, with Charlie Sheen.
yeah.
I don't know if it's in that.
Yeah,
What makes you
there's a
think
oh
of
my goodness. Because there is a scene like one of the baseball players like prays to like a deity and he has like a shrine in his thing, like in his
Oh,
locker.
okay.
And I think that's the sound it makes because he like gives him like rum and like does offerings like they're like he's wanting to kill a chicken in the locker room and they like give him like fried chicken instead to like appease
That's
the
funny.
Okay.
yeah it's a
I'll
whole
have
Now
to
other
I
thing.
check
don't
that
know
out.
this.
I'll
Yeah,
have to
but
check that
I
out.
think
See
that's
if
the sound that was ooh, 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 ooh,
yeah,
ooh.
yeah.
Like, I know.
I'll have to look at that and use my professional judgment to pick out what instrument it is.
Spencer's got to
So
I
research.
know.
that's right.
Okay, so like why band? Like as a fifth grader at Quitman ISD, why band?
Well, everybody had to be in band in fifth grade. We started in fifth grade. I'm
Oh,
old, dude. This was 19. Gosh, how old are you when you're in fifth grade?
Mm,
Are you 10?
11, like
Are you
10
11?
go
10,
It's okay.
10 and
19,
11.
1991. Um,
you look
and
good.
hey, dude, I'm old, dude. But
You
thank
look
you,
good,
thank you,
man. Good for
thank
you,
you,
man.
He's
thank you. Yeah, don't zoom
Hey,
up too much on these gray whiskers, but yeah,
they're
it's
regal.
thank you. Yeah, salt and pepper, right? No, fifth grade we all had to start in band, and I wanted to be a drummer. I wanted to be a drummer all as a little kid. In fact, I had my dad carve me drumsticks out of sticks. Like he would take his pocket knife and carve little beads on the ends of dowel rods, and I would play them till they broke, and stuff. And I wanted to be a drummer the whole way through. And my dad said he'd played drums. I don't know if he actually did, but he said he played drums in rock bands and stuff whenever he was a kid. So that stuck with me. But then when it came time to pick an instrument, my parents said, "No, you're playing trumpet." And so I went into the fifth grade, the beginning of fifth grade. They didn't put kids on instruments before fifth grade, and we went in the first week of school. And Stacy Gist, you know that name, Stacy
Oh,
Gist?
Stacy Gist.
Stacy, yeah,
He's
Stacy was
over
my
at
fifth. He is
oh
now at Thrall.
yes.
Yeah, and he retired from Hutto, and Stacy Gist was my fifth grade band director, and he's a percussionist. And I need to add him to my list. I'm keeping a tally of all these percussionists that are head directors, and I mean, I'll tell you, we'll talk about that later with what Rob Toops and I have decided. Um, but Stacy Gist was my band director, and I don't know, he just saw something in me as a percussionist, with rhythm and things, and so my parents said, "No, you're not playing percussion. You're playing trumpet. We already have a cornet because my dad had a cornet." And so he said, his lips won't buzz a trumpet. And so we need to put him on percussion. And so my parents were like, well, like, you're the expert. My mom's a musician, a fine pianist and organist. But as far as brass goes, they were just like, okay, well, we trust you, which was not true because I'm a pretty darn good French horn player. That's kind of my secondary instrument. But he, anyway, I'm not saying he was being disingenuous, but he did help
Oh,
me
but
find.
yeah, but we all know, like as band directors, you if you see something in a student, and if you can point them in the right direction for success, you're gonna do that even against the parents' wishes. You're gonna be like, hey, like this isn't the best interest of the kid. And once you start hearing that kind of thing, they start kind of like backing off a little bit. Now, I don't know about you, but like I definitely have had some parents go like, they will play this instrument, and we're like, okay, and then the kid's not
Mhm.
successful, and we're like, you
Right.
should have listened
Mhm.
to us at the very beginning of the situation.
No question about it. We've had that tons of times. And anyway, my parents were smart enough to listen to that, and it went great. Funny story. Early in my career, I we were in North Zone Middle School, Region 4, and so South Zone was having their concert and sight reading contests. So I thought I'm just going to go down there and listen to the bands. So I was a young director. I hadn't seen Stacy Gist since I was. He left. He only stayed 1 year, my fifth grade year. After that, he left and went somewhere else. I'm not sure where he went. I don't think it was Hutto. Somewhere else. Then he ended up in Hutto. So I hadn't heard or thought of him much. So I'm sitting in the back of the auditorium. No one knows I'm there, and no one hardly knows who I am. I'm like probably second, third, fourth year teacher. Um, and I'm just sitting back to listen to bands. All of a sudden, between bands, Don Lawler, you know who Don Lawler is?
I do not. I've heard the
Don,
name, but I don't know
Don
who that.
Lawler was our region secretary for about 30 years, maybe 20 years. Don was a percussionist. He was a legendary band director. He's in the military. I think he's military band directors Hall of Fame. Anyway, just one of those guys, just
Mhm.
extremely high on everybody's list for mentors and just amazing band directors. Um, Neil Grant spoke at his funeral last year, and it was amazing. Just all the things that people were. Anyway, so Don Lawler walked to the edge of the stage and says, "Spencer Emmert, please come to the back of the stage." And I'm like, "What is going on?" And Don was my private teacher in high school. I drove an hour one way to White Oak High School every Thursday night to take a private lesson from Don. And so Don knew me through that. I walked to the back. He says, "Come with me. We have someone in the back that wants to see you in the sight reading room." Well, I walk in there and there's Stacy Gist. He's on the panel. And he had just thumbing through the program from the North Zone, I guess, contest. They were all in one program. Saw my name and said, "Is this the same Spencer from Quitman?" And Don said, "Yes, it is." So anyway, we reconnected at that point, and we've been kind of close ever since. We've been, we see each other at Team EA and stuff, and hang out, and yeah, it's kind of a cool connection I have.
Isn't that isn't that crazy? Like how we can have like an interaction with a student for like that one single year, and like years can go by, and then you can still go like, I remember you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been. I have students like that. I mean, sometimes. I mean, I've been in this community, in and out of this community for 23 years, minus that 4 little years down the road at Winsboro. I've got students here that I taught their parents. And I'll see people all around town. And I remember, sometimes I don't always remember their name, but I remember what instrument they played, and I remember what type of student they were. And you're right. We have that connection with students, and it's one of the reasons why what we do is so special.
And like I don't know about you, but I mean I have a special relationship with my head director from high school, and then like everyone that I've been able to like work with or like have the pleasure to interact with like in a professional setting, like they like even though they might not realize it, but anytime I go into somebody else's band hall or something, those people make an impact on me in some form or fashion. And I think we as band directors don't always realize the effect we have on each other, and like how welcoming somebody into your facility can like change somebody's like
Yeah.
professional trajectory, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. And I mean, I can see in people that work with me, like I was my head director, my director in high school's passed away, but my very first year to teach, that year that I student taught in the fall, and then assumed the job in the spring, and then for a few years after that, several years, James Kaufman. I don't know if you know James Kaufman, that name.
I do know, I've heard that name.
James was kind of he owned McKay Music in Sulphur Springs. James is a former honor band winner at New Boston High School. He's Phi Beta Mu Hall of Fame. He's the master. He's just anyway. He was there as a one period a day consultant or a helper for the band on a consistent level basis, rather. And he kind of took me under his wing. And man, um, everything that I do in a teaching standpoint and a band directing perspective, man, it comes straight from his influence. The older I get, the more I teach, I'm seeing, his influence more and more. And he's my main mentor right now. And he actually comes and works with our band every other week, all fall. And then he comes probably 4 or 5 times in the spring, works with our groups. And man, I can't say enough about him as a mentor, and in general, just people latching on and getting a mentor. And Man, it's shaped how I do things so much. And not just the way he teaches band, but just the way he lives, the way he treats people, the way he acts. He's the epitome of class in my mind. And it's just one of those things that's really rubbed off on me. And I'm sure you have that same type of story from somebody that's influenced you early on.
Well, like for example, this is early on people like I Bob Vetter was,
Yeah.
he I call him my boss. He goes, we were colleagues. I'm like, okay, Bob. But
Yeah.
he's someone that like, once again, you talk about like salt of the earth, just good genuine people that make you want to become better band directors, and probably more so like better people, which in turn it like affects that side of you. Like if as soon as you start surrounding yourself with those types of people, it becomes like a different thing. And like I will never be able to give that back. Like I will never be able to tell Bob thank you enough for those types of things. It's like the same thing with like Tony Kleins.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I mean, have you ever met Tony Kleins?
Yeah, I've judged in Region 8 for Tony. Huh?
Okay, like Tony's the kind of guy, he just doesn't give you a handshake. He gives you a hug. It's a handshake and a
Hmm.
hug. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. And like Tony's another one of those kind of guys that's just like, he's fiery, but he's passionate, and he's just a good person, and like he's genuine, and he's gonna shoot you straight, and like he's just like, I don't know. There's just something about that is just so like polarizing, even as like now I had to say like getting older into my career,
Hmm.
like that still energizes me, like being around those people. And it's just like it's crazy to think about. So like swinging back, like you made an impact on me, because like we were fortunate to have honor band recordings go to the same site. And man, I heard your band for the first time and I went, geez Louise, that is a good band. God. I mean, they played what, Red Rock
Red
Mountain?
Rock Mountain.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
that year was. Southern Harmony and Red Rock Mountain.
Yeah, man. I just
Mhm.
remember going like, golly, somebody get those horns off of whatever they are on and leave the rest for us. Golly.
Yeah, I had a killer horn section, man. My funny, the principal horn in that band was my son. Actually,
Oh,
he's
he's just my,
yeah,
my
you know.
kid.
So hey,
Oh.
I gotta throw some shade on Brody, man. He's making me so proud. He's in the Aggie band, and he's doing so good. Uh,
It's honestly
all
it's
state
such a
horn player.
waste. All upbeats, man.
Oh,
Fantastic horn beat,
Tony.
fantastic horn player,
I know.
and just all
In
upbeats.
the Aggie band, I know. Well, he's going to be an engineer, man. He's got to go. And he didn't want to abandon his band career, but he's in Russell Tipton's band this spring,
Hey.
so getting to play some actual concert horn, not just mellophone. He's enjoying that too. So yeah, we've enjoyed getting to learn about the Aggie family. Funny story about Bob Vetter. I actually judged a contest with him, and when he found out Brody was going to A&M, it was like we were now family. He I didn't know Bob too well, but he immediately he was asking me about it. He said he needs to do this. This needs to go to goes to what's the I think it's Impact, which is like one of the summer programs they
Mhm.
have for like a Christian based summer program. And it just he was so just genuinely concerned and cared for what was going on. And then ever since then, he's just really connected and asked me about, how things are going and how band's going, and, just a great guy. And through something that wasn't really even band related, just shows type of guy he is.
Well, and you touched on something a little bit that I want to circle back. Like, so you are just not active in the band world, but like I know that you are also active in your church community. Like, can I ask you like how you being involved in that side of your life has impacted like how you structure your situation with like public education?
Yeah, I started teaching in '02, and by '03, I was offered a church music director job. Um, and so I kind of thought it'd be a 1 year interim thing and it'd be done. Um, and I was really young. I was 22 years old, 23 years old. And I don't know if you know the demographics of most traditional church choirs, but they're not 20-year-olds. And so it was a little bit unique. But man, I really just fell in love with that part of getting to make music for, I guess, something even more. I guess maybe not more, but as impactful, or if not more impactful. Um, and believe it or not, I really think 20 plus years of working with a church choir, having to isolate all the choral parts and work balance and blend intonation, working with pianists and accompanists. I was saying earlier, if you count the Easter and the Christmas cantatas, I'm going on 46 cantatas I've prepared and rehearsed for, and you're talking 45-minute full choral presentations with most of the time chamber orchestra with it. Um, and so if you think about that, it's a lot more hours of rehearsal, a lot more minutes of prep, more musical experiences in different ways, different styles. And I really do think it has really helped with my band directing.
Well,
Just
and
being
like
able to hear intonation and hear, you know, different styles. I mean, and it's funny. We talked about in our clinic last summer about breaking up the group into voicings, and this is something we do a lot:
Mhm.
soprano, alto, tenor, bass. And we actually do that a lot in marching band, in concert band, um, and we speak of the band as if it were a vocal ensemble in many ways. And the kids start to resonate with that. They start to understand that. And when we talk about tone and intonation and singing style, lyrical, um, if they can, and especially like your principal players, your soloists. How many times have people said, "Play it like you'd sing it"? Well, we sing it for them. and we show them exactly how to sing it. And they we sing a lot in rehearsal to begin with. Whether they're good vocalists or not, that's beside the point. It really is beneficial, So you know how that goes, but as long as they get the idea right, they don't have to sound great doing it.
I know, like we do this. We've introduced more and more of singing into our rehearsals, and it's always like, okay, sing.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, no, 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 no. Well, and like for you, like having that experience, like with students in band, you at least have a little bit more control over their, foundational training in a establishment like a church. The door is open.
I know. Believe me, there's been yeah, and that's also. I mean, it's also you have to make smart choices in programming. You have to you have to balance the ensemble to make it sound good. I actually did a handbell choir for about 5 years too. I had to direct a handbell choir, and you talk about hard with volunteers that don't know anything about. When I took that job, they said, "Well, we make the red notes are right hand, the blue notes are left hand." That was how they played their
Oh,
instruments. And so, yeah, there was no counting, there was nothing, and man, I had to get real creative with programming. We started just playing hymns, chorales. We could just play chords and sound nice. Man, we started doing arpeggios and accompaniment with melody. It just drove me nuts when they'd miss a note or something. So, uh, anyway, it all I think all of our music, as many musical experiences as music teachers can surround themselves with, it's typically going to be a beneficial thing, whether it's performing in with an orchestra, playing with a jazz combo, directing chamber groups, working with choirs. It's all beneficial to me in the band directing realm, at least from my standpoint.
so sorry, and coming back again to like your experiences in your instrument group, all that kind of stuff. Like, what were some of the biggest things and struggles that you had being like a percussionist going into a head director role?
Well, it's funny you said that because like I said earlier, I've been kind of. It's not really a joke, but it's kind of a funny thing. We've kind of our percussionists that are head directors. We've kind of tried to create a little club, kind of. And Rob Toops and I were talking. Of course, he's a percussionist, and he said, why percussionists are such good head directors?" I said, "Why is that, Rob?" He said, "We just sit in the back, listen to the band the whole time. We may or may not some charts we don't even play. Maybe we play three notes on a triangle. Maybe we play a couple of big crash cymbal notes. But during rehearsal, think about what your percussionists are having to do. They're having to be quiet and sit back there and listen. And man, he said we've gotten to listen to bands so much more than any other instrument group when they're worried about their part. We get to listen to what's happening from even as a performer in the ensemble. We have a different perspective about blend, textures, balance, things of that nature. And I think it makes sense. It really did make sense to me when he said that to me.
Yeah, that's very interesting because like I know so many percussion band directors, and like they say that I guess their perception of sound is just a little bit different because whenever I hear like a triangle being hit, they're like, "Did you hear all the overtones in that?" I'm like,
Mhm.
"What?"
Well, that's too funny. Oh man, you got to get in tune with your overtones, brother.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Well, okay.
important.
No, okay. Now, mind you, I married a percussionist, and
There you go.
so
I
and
saw that.
so
Yeah, yeah. Ba- you,
so
you,
I am very particular about my percussion out of respect for my wife.
Out of respect.
Out of respect.
I'll tell
That's the
you
only
what.
reason why.
Go find a piece of crap triangle and put it in your ensemble, and then get a
Oh, I
nice one,
know.
and that'll you'll hear the overtones.
No, my band hates it. Like they absolutely hate it because well, and I'm very very particular when it gets into like lyrical pieces and they have like the triangle. I'm like, that triangle's too bright. no, take
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
go away, give me a different one. And then they're like, do you want more German? Is it the German silver? I'm like, I don't know what it is. I just don't. I know.
Tambourine,
I
bud.
I don't know what that. It doesn't sound good. Okay, do
Yeah.
you want the
That
hammered triangle?
hey, that's kind of the way I am too, man. I mean, you can ask my staff. It's all here. They'll say, one of the things that I say a lot is, man, it's all about how it sounds. It's literally, how does it sound? Does it sound good, or does it sound bad? I mean, how does it sound? And it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. How does it sound? That has to do with your philosophy on wind ensemble, balance and blend, style, interpretation. Now, as a young band director, there are some things that you need to teach. You need to teach lifted style. You need to teach consistent note length. You need to teach clarity of articulation. And of course, tone is always the most important thing. But man, as I've noticed, as you get upper level players and you're playing harder literature, it's really fun to just really sit back and listen and go, how are we going to interpret this phrase? How are we going to interpret this note length? How are we going to make this sound the best, which is also the most interesting. And so it's been fun to kind of go from where I was for a long time as a middle school band director, and even as a high school director of a developing program. Not to say we're anywhere near where we need to be, but the students there, I have upper level players that really, really, I mean, that can dive into this really hard literature, and it really is a lot of fun when you get to do some of your own interpreting of some of the things.
So like, so you did a region band clinic just recently, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Last weekend down in
Okay.
Region 10.
So what were the selections you picked?
Man, it's funny. I was actually a sub. The one of the clinicians couldn't come through a last minute, I guess, medical concern. So my buddy Alex Wells called me up. Hey, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to come down here and do this region clinic with a program that's already picked out. And it was yeah. So I did a middle school group with some pieces. I actually I didn't know any of the 5 pieces, and we just went down there and worked them up. It was a middle school group, so we had a lot of fun with it. But it was a standards piece, easier, just some of the easy middle school stuff. We did a Fireworks by Randall Standridge, and we did let's see, Fanfare for the Free by Brian Balmages, and then the other piece that I knew the composer. Oh, the best piece of the program I thought was a piece by Jack Wiles, The Jester's Gallop. Anyway, the kids had a good time and they played really well. Dr. Boonshaft from Hofstra University in New York City, he was the top high school clinician, and hey, he said we sounded good, so I thought it was a
Hey,
win-win. I
that's
thought
a
it was a
win.
win. That's
That's a
right.
win. Well,
Yeah.
so like whenever I have the opportunity to do a region band clinic, the first place I look is the percussion section. And that's a gamble because you never know what kind of percussionist you're going to get. But the way I see it is that I look at my percussion section and any of my pieces and go, one, is my percussion going to be bored with this?
Hmm.
Because we all know, because Spencer, you I know you were the best acting percussionist in the back.
Oh yes, never got in trouble. Hey, you don't even need to talk to my college teachers either.
We'll send this to them.
That knuckleheadness continued on into college.
Yeah. Well, I'm a tuba player by trade, and Alexa is a percussion. She was actually a very good percussion student. I was a very bad tuba player.
Oh,
I,
well,
I
you're
thought you
you're
were
in the
gonna
back
say.
too, right?
Uh-huh.
I thought you were gonna say she was actually a very good percussionist. Like,
Yeah,
what does
that
that
too.
mean, Jose?
Yeah, no, that
No,
you were a
I
good
was a picture
percussionist.
perfect
You're
student.
you're well behaved, right?
I
Yes.
was well
Yeah, yeah,
mostly.
that's good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
always the
I
boy
think that's smart. You
percussionist.
need to pay attention to the percussion and the honor band stuff. I mean, they luckily, a lot of the regions we've added a percussion ensemble to our region clinic, just to give a good chunk of the students a bit more substantial program to perform and to rehearse for. I think it's been cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
tacit in the lyrical piece.
Gosh, and I'm man, my poor percussionist. I've got good percussionists, one all-stater, and we're doing Russian Christmas music, which you think, oh, 15-minute work. There's tons of percussion. Really, there's not. And then we're doing a piece from the '60s by Norman Della Gioia called "Scenes from the Louvre."
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that's a good piece.
I did
oh
that one in
man, it
conducting
is
class.
dynamite. I love the piece so much, and the more that I tell people we're playing it, oh yeah, yeah, I know that piece. And I just was looking around for something I thought would do well in honor band. It's 5 movements, but not a whole lot of percussion. And so it's one of those things. I keep telling them, if I wasn't a percussionist, I may not be able to get away with it as much. But I was like, I'm a percussionist, so I feel your pain. It's just what we need to do at this point. But we've got good plans to pull them out and keep them moving forward and stuff while they're kind of bored. But
Yeah, that's
it's
what
one
I
of
tell the trumpet players when they're like, "We just have whole notes right here." I'm like, "I'm a tuba player. Be quiet."
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you if you have that past experience that you can relate with them, surely they'll be cool with it. They'll trust you.
So, were you the best musician in your high school band?
Well, I mean, I think I think I'm the only All-Stater in Quitman High School history. I think that's
Ooh.
right.
Oh,
You can take that for whatever you think it is, but at up till 1998, I was the first All-Stater, and I don't know if they've had one since. They might have had one or two, but honestly, I don't know. But it doesn't mean that's not a great band, that they had good band programs and have done real well. I know that they're right down the road from us here, and I've had the opportunity to kind of help down there some, and Michael Barron's doing a real good job there. So it's been cool to see it kind of come up.
didn't Mark Nicholson almost work there?
He did. In fact, Don Lawler introduced Mark at our region meeting as the new head band director at Quitman, and
Then he
then
went to China Spring.
and then like a week later, from what I remember, see, I had called Shannon Sandage. I was leaving Winsboro, and I had called her. She was up at Prairie Land, and I'm like, "Hey, would you want to come take this Winsboro gig?" And she said, "Well, I'm going to China Spring." And I said, "Okay." Then I called Jim Best, and he ended up and went over there and took over for me. But um, something changed between then, after Mark had taken the Quitman job and Shannon, I thought, had taken the China Spring job. Mark ended up at China Spring, and man, the rest is history, on that deal. But yeah, he almost was at Quitman, and believe it or not, Jerry Wharton told me he interviewed at Quitman and wanted to teach at Quitman. And Neil's, I don't know if you know who Neil Sutton is, Jay and Kevin's dad. Neil Sutton's a legendary band director. He was at Quitman. And before that, James Kaufman, who's my mentor, who I don't know him at all from Quitman. I know him whenever he was at New Boston, and then a retired, band director. He was at Quitman a long, long time ago. So that school has had some dynamite teaching, and almost had, a few other really, really good directors too. And I know Michael's been doing a great job there too.
That's just so interesting that equipment keeps on coming up.
Yeah.
Because I
I
think
know.
Steve
No,
Williamson.
Steve said that. Yeah.
Yes, Steve
Yeah.
Williamson taught there. Yes,
Yep.
Yep.
with Neil. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
It's a very
Yep.
small world.
It
It
is.
is a
It
very
is.
small. Speaking of small, so like how has small school and like the situation that you grew up in, how's that molded you into like the director you are now? And how is it different from what you do now?
Man, I'm actually a small town guy. So this is kind of, I don't know if this is embarrassing, or if it's just, it is what it is. Sulphur Springs is the biggest town I've ever lived in. Even when I went to college, Arkadelphia only had about 11,000 people. That didn't count the colleges. Of course, Washita Baptist is there as well, two colleges, and Sulphur Springs has about 16,000, give or take. I'm a small town guy through and through. I actually lived in Granbury, Texas, when I was younger for a time, but I think at that point it wasn't much bigger than 10, 12,000 at that point. Um, anyway, I'm a small town guy. I will say Sulphur Springs, when we were 5A, we were one of the smallest 5As in the state. And we really are more of I mean, we've had good success in 4A, but it's because that's where we I think that school and that type of area of the state where we belong. We're very rural still. Um, we're not suburban or urban, anything like that. Not even large like a Marshall or a Mount Pleasant that's not necessarily connected to a metro area but has a ton of people. Um, you know, I just feel like I've always kind of been in a small school setting, and that's where I've kind of felt most comfortable. Now, there was a time in my career where I thought I needed to be in the Metroplex, and went over and interviewed and got offered a couple of really good jobs at some really affluent, great places, but nothing really felt right. I actually accepted a job, put a at a very, very big, huge district in the Metroplex, and put a for sale sign in my yard. And man, we were we just had our second son. He was just a little bitty squirt. Christy was actually in his bedroom, I think, laying with him. And I woke up and I just heard the Lord say, "This is not what you need to do." And it was the most clear thing I've ever, ever felt. And I don't know why it was the wrong thing. I don't know. It would have probably been a great situation. It was incidentally some of the fear, I guess, in my mind was it was that summer when everyone was afraid that the governor, Rick Perry was the governor, that they were going to have all this school funding cutting, and everybody was so afraid that a lot of the bigger districts were going to get cut in a lot of funding, especially those that had to give a lot through the Robin Hood program, and this was one that gave 99 cents of every tax dollar away because they were so affluent. And I would have been on probationary if they'd have had a riff. I'd have been the first one gone. So that partially was weighing in my mind, and had a young son, another had a toddler and then an infant. Anyway, it was interesting, man. I woke up, I went in that bedroom and told Christy, I said, "We're not moving. We'll go take the go take the sign out of the yard." And I'd never once questioned that decision because it was so clear. Christy said, "The look in your face was so unique. I'd never seen you look that way." But I knew. I said, "Oh," she just said, "Okay, go take it out of the yard." And the rest is history. Who knows what things would have changed if I would have moved into a bigger, more suburban lifestyle. My kids have had a great experience in small school. My son was salutatorian last year. He's rocking at A&M, making us so proud, and doing so well. And so I think everybody kind of has a pathway that kind of goes different ways, and you just hope you hope you make the right choices.
So what you're saying is that you lived that episode of Bluey.
The Sign.
The Sign. That's what he did. That's
That-
legitimately what
I
he
just
did.
watched that yesterday.
Well, I've never watched Bluey. My kids are a little too old
What?
for that.
Yeah, his kids are too
Ours
old
was
for that.
ours was more like Blue's Clues.
Okay. All right, man.
Our kids like Blue's Clues too.
Yeah, like no, like all right. As an adult, you can watch Bluey.
I love Bluey.
Like you
Well,
can.
I hear it's
so good.
very popular. Yeah, it's influential to even adults. I do know that. I've heard that.
Well, like the music, they use music so well in the show.
Okay.
Like you can watch Sleepy Time. Like you as a dad, like real. There's a couple episodes that are like, as a dad, you will watch that and you're like, I'm okay. I'm okay. But
Oh.
Sleepy Time, they
Jose
use.
knows from
Oh yeah.
experience.
Oh. So they use Jupiter in Sleepy Time, and it is like
Okay.
it is so well done, and it's just like so impactful. But you need to watch The Sign. Like
Okay, I will do that.
that is
That's pretty much what happens.
literally you just I'm pretty sure you actually sent them the email with the
Is
content.
that the name of the episode?
That,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
it's,
okay.
It's the finale of the 3rd season. Not that I would be that specific.
You know it, boy. You know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
but-
funny. I remember when my niece was born. She's actually a junior in college now. I remember when she was born. That was the first kind of infant baby in any of our families since we were little with our little siblings and cousins and things. And so I remember sitting at my in-laws' house, and when we would get together with my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, my wife, and her parents, we might be watching the news or a sports game or whatever, and just chatting this and that. Well, when Bonnie was born, the Backyardigans were always on, and we would all just sit there and watch this silly cartoon while she was kind of playing down there. And we looked up, and we're all six just watching this show, and she's in the other room. She crawled off, and we're just sitting there staring at the Backyardigans. I looked over and said, what is going on? And then I realized, of course, as you have your own kids, you realize that that's just part of life. That's a big part of what you do. And the other big threshold I remember being so glad we graduated past, other than dirty diapers, was sippy cups. Getting done with the sippy cups where we don't have to take out those little plastic valves and wash all that soured milk out and stuff.
Why do you make that face? You don't do any of that.
No, I know. Well,
I do. I do it.
Okay, so
how old are how y'all's kids?
We have 5-year-old twins, and we have a 1-year-old. So he's just now circling back into Bluey. He loves the Bluey theme song.
Awesome.
He's a menace.
We're still in that. We're still in the sippy cups, and
Oh, you got a while. You got a while. Yeah.
Okay, so like, how did becoming a dad change your, like, one, change your vision of what you do and handle the job, and then like two, like, how did it change your approach to things?
Oh my gosh, there couldn't have been a more impactful change in my life on my teaching. Just seeing and seeing things from a parent perspective on how we do things, and why we do things, how you communicate, expectations. It really has been impactful to me. Man, I was a little bit of a firecracker as a young teacher.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, a little bit of a firecracker as a young teacher, and I still am very, very stern and very businesslike. I mean, that's just my personality in front of my students. It's all business, and I I I have to really implement some lighthearted moments, plan for those. Otherwise, it'll just be business the whole time. That's my personality. I want to get better at every second of every rehearsal, and I actually have to plan in some lighthearted moments so that you can kind of keep the kids motivated and their attention. Some kids have to have those moments, and just basic empathy for kids, the things that they're going through at certain times in their development. Middle school is really, really hard, and I didn't really know that as much as I know now, having three boys. One, I have a seventh grader currently right now, and a sophomore, and then of course a freshman in college. So we've had two go through those middle school years, and man, it's a tough time in those kids' life. And you hear that as a cliche. As a young teacher, I heard that all the time. I thought, oh yeah, whatever. Everything's going to be challenging for every kid, no matter where they're at, if they want to do well at it. But really, there are certain things that, as a parent, you see your own kids go through. I find myself being able to be a bit more, just relate more to what they're maybe going through, and have a bit more empathy, while still encouraging them and insisting that they do their absolute best at everything they do and reach our high expectations. That's part of what we do. Is we really have high expectations for our students, and we only accept their best. That doesn't mean we don't find ways of motivating kids in different ways, depending on what they're, what they're going through. I've got a student that I'm learning about currently right now, and was very high achieving in middle school, featured soloist in UIL, and was really, really did great. And the directors just thought the world of this student. Oh my gosh, they're doing so great. Always kind of pumping that student up, and rightfully so. And the student came in as a freshman, and it hasn't had as much, I guess, just overt praise or individual attention, and had really affected their momentum and their achievement, so much so that it had been, so we could tell there were some negative kind of interactions and reactions to band. Like it was becoming a negative in that student's life. And then out of the blue the other day in rehearsal, I asked that student and one other student who had a specific part in a really rock hard part in one of the movements of the Della Gioia piece we're doing, and they nailed it. And I went, wow, I need my upper woodwinds to match that level of precision that these two students just demonstrated. And man, I saw that student set up, and all of a sudden she had this different look. Then the next day in jazz ensemble, totally different interaction, totally different attitude. I'm going, okay, I'm learning about this student. A little bit of positive, a little bit. I've been overlooking that, and so you just pump that student up a little bit, and it made a huge world of difference.
Yeah, and for us, and you can probably speak to this. Like, you have three sons, and not all the same approach is applicable to each one of your sons.
Absolutely, that my three kids are totally different. Each in their own. They're all three, successful and doing well at what they put their mind to, but they live their life and react to things and have priorities that are different as far as just mundane priorities. The big things are always the big things, but the small things that they think are important or unimportant, they're all different. And it's, I wrote a paper in college on nature versus nurture, and I was 100% as a college student in the nurture category. I wrote this long paper about how, it's really about how people are raised. It's about how you get treated. It's about the people you surround yourself with. And man, I just wrote a whole paper in, I don't know if it was psychology or a class in college, and I was 100% in the nurture corner. But man, it's not that case. There is some of that, but there is some nature added in. Some kids just born, a certain way, and man, it's a challenge as a teacher, especially in a thing like band where we have the widest um, range of students as far as just everything. I mean, we're the biggest co-ed group in on campus. We have valedictorians and salutatorians all the way down to students that struggle academically. We have students that are very athletic, students that are very unathletic, students that are the lead groups, the lead people in their youth group at church, and those that would never be able to do that. And so that's the challenge for band directors, is to be able to take this wide group of people and gel them together as a unit. You gel them together as a unit. We call it a band family. You get the band family, the nuclear band family there, intact, and then you begin to just rise up the whole group. And of course, you focus, you use your student leaders that have influence to lead the way on that. But as a director and as a staff, as adults, I'm 100%. It's important to me that we lead by example. There's not anything I'll ask my student. This is not patting myself on the back. This is just how I run my program, and I hope it's helpful to anyone that has like-mindedness. I don't ask anybody to do anything that I wouldn't do. That includes load the truck. That includes mow the field whenever we had to do that. Stripe the field, vacuum the band hall. I don't ask anyone to do anything that I wouldn't do. And I would say that the most humbling thing to that is loading and unloading. I'm out there loading stuff, strapping it down, making sure stuff gets strapped down right, leading by example as best I can. And you do that, before long, people realize, man, we're all equal. We're all here to do the work. and I think it's impactful, or it has been for us.
So, like, what are some of the other things that like you have done to really instill that culture? So, like, and I went to your clinic and it was a fantastic clinic, but like, you said like you run everywhere that you go, like you're on a mission, like
Mhm.
you're empowering students. Like, so what are some of the other things that you're doing to really establish the culture that you want to see in your program?
You know, I think it's just important to communicate why we do things. It That to me has made a huge impact on my band. Um, I'll tell them why we need to do this the certain way, and this is why we're going to, do this 5 more times. This is why we're going to stop everything and go back to a fundamental that we need to go back to. Why are we doing this? And what is the benefit? What will the benefit be? I think if you can communicate the point of why you're having them do things, they'll get on board better. That's one thing. Um, and just celebrating things that they do well, finding time to uh, have them just communicate with each other and just feel a sense of connection. That's a huge part of it. Little things like I said in the clinic is, you know, I I run everywhere we go. I typically run from the band hall out to the practice field, moving everything quickly. If things aren't moving fast, I'm telling let's go. I'm moving things fast and everything's fast paced. Um, and I think as a whole, once you have to do things in your own personality. My personality is very very task driven and very very efficient. And your band will take on your personality. And I think that's everybody does it a little different. That's just what works for me. As far as concrete other things, we we try to really really like I said, celebrate the successes. Our all staters, we got 8 all staters this year, and I'll mention in rehearsal. I'll ask 2-time all stater. How do you think we need to play this chunk of this piece? And what that does, it gets the other kids going, "Ooh, wow, that's a he's earned that respect from Mr. Emmert." And I think it motivates others to want to achieve that level too. It's kind of just a program wide thing that we try to implement.
So like for me, I like to try and get a little background before we do any of these pods. So like something that and I did get on your band page at some point in time. Because I was like, okay, like Spencer's coming on, like what's something else I can talk about with this band? And something I thought that was pretty interesting, because I backtracked a whole lot, that I think you had the kids like washed y'all semi trailer.
Yeah, yeah. We had a leadership day where we washed the trucks. Yeah, they just were dirty, and it was really irritating me. Some of the it just I walked by it, and some of the kids had, other kids from other campuses, from other, I guess not in band, obviously. Nothing vulgar. They just wrote little words and stuff in the dust, and it just was irritating me every time I looked at it. And I said leadership one day we're gonna wash all the trucks, and I said everybody bring soap and brushes and buckets, and we had kids bring power washers and all kinds of stuff. Man, it was crazy. And man, they got out there and washed the mess out of those trucks, and man, it just looked so much better. And it's just a microcosm of anything we do. We want it to be clean and in order and first class. And that was just one thing that wasn't. So we fixed it.
Well, and like there's a saying I tell my kids, like I tell them all the time. I go like, my expectation of you should never be higher than the expectation that you have for yourself.
Oh yeah.
And so like, and I go, and the moment you have a higher expectation for yourself, I'm going to raise the bar. And then your job is to raise the bar. And so when we create that relationship, then all we're doing is making each other better.
Yeah. And I mean, that one thing, one of your questions, what would you work on, or what mistakes have you made? And I thought about that question. one thing that I still struggle with is uh, where I'm very, very, I don't know. I think I look at myself as kind of a goofball, kind of just a goofball sometimes. None of my students would ever describe me as that. I'm very they. In fact, when they come and talk to me in my office, they'll bring a friend in like as a support person. Yeah,
Jose
so they'll
knows
come.
that feeling.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like they'll come in a pair, and one student will ask me a question. They're kind of standing there, like this, and they'll ask me a question, and I'll answer them. Yeah, well, and I said, and what do you want? And she's like, I'm just here for her, and I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And then I just kept seeing a pattern on that every time, even when the boys would come in, not all of them, but a good percentage of them, they'd bring in a help some, and I don't want my students to think that, they think that I don't know. I probably still have some work to do on that part of it. Um, but fortunately, all of my staff have a specific role and a specific personality, and it works well with what we do. I'm the business guy. I'm the big guy that keeps everything moving in the right direction as far as the high school program, and all that to say, I kind of like the fact that we have such a kind of a elevated sense of expectation for behavior and for integrity, and work ethic, commitment, responsibility. Those are the things that we constantly talk about every single day. And I do think that we are shaping kids in a positive way that they wouldn't get if they weren't in band. And I tell the community all the time, you know, even if these students don't end up professional musicians or music majors, even what we're hoping to teach them through band is to how to be the next best generation of our world. These kids are our next young adults, and if we can have the higher the bar for what they expect for themselves and the way that they interact with others and the way that they live their life with responsibility and being the leader, being the one that influences others. Don't be the one that's influenced in a negative way. Be the one that influences others in a positive way. And we tell them all the time, the more success you can have in life, the happier you're going to feel, the more comfortable you're going to have, the more comfortable life you're going to have. And, those are things I think that we're hoping we're making a difference. And I know every band director is, and we're all just kind of, trying to do our best to keep these kids moving in the right direction. And band, we have such a great tool to use, music, because it's such a great thing. I mean, it's music is just there's nothing else that can touch your heart and soul like music can. And I've really really enjoyed lately getting to play even more elevated, more I guess more elevated literature, because you can really just feel it's just an awesome piece of music. You get to perform that at a high level, man. It's a special thing, and I think it really does resonate with kids.
And your program, like, I mean, it's fantastic. Like I said, I heard it on the honor band recordings, and I was like, dang. Like, and not only that, but your marching program is like stellar. Like, you've been in the top 5 several times now. Loved the show this past year. Great, fantastic. Like, how do you manage that? Like, how do you manage like living up to the expectation and setting the standard and going through that? And how do the kids like deal with that?
Man, it's tough. I will say that first year that we advanced to state, it's first time in school history. We just were happy to be there. Thought we might make finals, or actually, we just thought, we didn't even know if we would make finals. I didn't really know if we would or not, and we ended up fourth place, and that was crazy. And the kids just were beside themselves. They were so excited to get fourth. They just kept calling 10th place, ninth place, eighth place. We're like, when are they going to call us? They skip us? And they called us fourth. And of course, we were one out of the medals, but we didn't care. I mean, the kids were just beside themselves. It's so happy. Then the next 3 years, we've been fourth 4 years in a row. same place. Well, one year we were fifth. We tied with Mark, and they got the tie break. I think incidentally we tied again, and then we got the tie break one of those 4 times too. Um, but we've been just kind of right there. But I mean, it's a challenge, man. Once you've had that, and it's not new anymore. You know, the kids, we find different ways to motivate the kids to reach a new level. I mean, obviously there's always room to improve, but I mean, it's not easy. I have a great staff. I am so fortunate to have a great staff and a consistent staff. I've really been blessed with a group of great teachers, top to bottom, that have stayed with me, and that's rare. When you get great teachers, you know, a lot of times they get opportunities to move on, and uh, I'm really fortunate. And two of my staff members are huge fans of this podcast,
Oh my goodness.
and they wanted me. I got to shout out Mr.
They go,
Griffin and
yeah,
Miss
yeah. Go ahead and shout out
Martinez.
your whole entire staff, actually.
Yeah. Well, Allison Martinez is works at the high school with me and teaches at the middle school too, and she is, I think, in her third year of teaching. I think that's right. Apologize if I'm wrong, Miss Martinez. Maybe it's her second year, but she's well beyond her years in her abilities. I mean, she's never made anything but a first division with our non-varsity band, tearing it up, and did great at OPS with her band as a young teacher. Way excelling past what I did when I was her age. And she actually went to Athens High School, SFA grad. And then Zach Griffin is really helps me a lot at the high school with marching band, but he's technically one of our middle school directors. Um, he is originally from Rowlett and is an A&M Commerce grad, and is a great teacher. Our head middle school director is Brittany Robinette, and I've worked with her for 10 years. She worked with me in Winsboro and then came with me to Sulphur Springs, just a master teacher, and really great head middle school director. And then our percussion teacher is Cody Brown. He's been with us a few years, came to us from Pine Tree. And before that, I think he was at Queen City. And then we have another gentleman who's been there since like 1984, I believe. Been
Strapping
at
young
Silver.
man. Strapping
Yes,
young man.
he is. Mr. Proctor has been there since for that long at Silver Springs, just continually, and he's a good friend of mine and a good resource for many things. And then Connor Dawes is our color guard instructor. So that's our staff, and they all are just amazing. We just have a good team, and the kids are just, they bought in, man, and that's what it is. I mean, not to say we don't have ups and downs, but they've bought in. We're consistent with our system, and of course we develop our system every year. You know, we try to get better every year and do things new and better teaching techniques. I mean, I'm watching I'm watching what others are doing and getting consultations from master teachers. I mean, Cody Newman at Forney's one of my good friends, and I watch what he does over there. And he's worked for us on show design and has been a great influence. And of course, um, some of the people that are much better at this job than me, you know, I just look at them and go, you know, help me get this program better. It's kind of worked.
I think the best public educators are people who consistently think I can be better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's one of the things that's like I hate. I'm not going to say. Well, no, I'm going to say it. A marquee of like why your program is as successful as it is because like you do a lot of self reflection and a lot of self challenging, which in turns makes your students self challenge as well. Which like it's a driver. You know, I mean, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, I mean, I am the eternal student, and that would be my biggest regret as a young band director. I well, I said I was fortunate enough to have James take me under his wing early on in my career. He did that from his side. I wasn't one of these young directors who was seeking out mentorship. Um, he saw that in me, and he's just that type of a guy that he saw that in me and decided to extend that olive branch and subtly kind of make that relationship start to grow, unbeknownst to me to a certain degree, and to my advantage, to my benefit. I certainly It didn't take long for me to really kind of fall into that, but early on, I mean, I didn't really ask for help. In fact, I remember my very first UIL, I almost wanted to quit. I made a 223, and I picked the worst program ever. Did Everybody was telling me don't do that. I didn't listen to anybody. Um, I'm not going to say the pieces I played because I don't want the composers to think that I'm being, you know, uh, judgmental of their work. But I was getting several people, other band directors, and people, why are you playing that for you all? Do not play that. I mean, there's just some pieces that are on that PML that everybody knows that, they're too hard for groups that typically would play that level, and they're too easy for groups that can handle it. Or
Yeah.
they're, you know what I mean? One of those type things.
Yeah. Okay. So, and we've talked about this. Like, Dance Celebration is a trap piece.
It sure is.
It is a
And I would
trap
love
piece.
to talk about it.
People are like, "Oh, just play Dance Celebration." Like, don't play Dance
Dance
Celebration.
celebration is
Yeah.
like hard.
Yeah.
It is trickier than what's
I-
one of the other ones? Portrait of a Clown. I call it. I don't
To
know if it's
Kelly. To
I don't know if
Kelly.
it's still on the list, but I call it Portrait of
Yeah.
a Two.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know, man. I mean, they led my one away. They led my Lord away.
Yeah,
Uh,
literally,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
Well, and
So,
it's
and
the
that
same
is a
thing.
great piece of music. Don't get me wrong. Okay, that is a beautiful piece of music, but so challenging.
Yeah.
You know,
Moscow, 1941.
That's a cool piece.
It's a great piece, but man, you better strap it in because, like, woo. They're like, I'll play this one.
I played Jerry Novak's Spring Song, and
Yep.
that is a very challenging lyrical piece of music. For one thing, do you really need to play a full lyrical piece with a non-varsity band your first year out of college? That might not be a good idea. And I didn't. I don't know the piece anymore. I haven't even studied it for 22 years, but I think it was even in a tough key, like maybe like A flat or F or something. And it just, I don't know, man. I didn't listen to anybody, and so yeah, I made a 223 my first year to take a band to UIL, and that was rough. I learned right then and there that I needed a lot of guidance. So I started that process early, but man, I am the eternal student. I'm constantly trying to get, affirmation or correction, one of the two. Send recordings to mentors, send recordings to colleagues, um, self-reflection, studying quality recordings and comparing them to your recordings. It's what I do all the time to continue to, hopefully be a better teacher and have a better product for the kids.
So you're doing all these wonderful things. Like it, I have to say this. Like, what makes East Texas so different from the rest of Texas?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I would say we have Region 4 specifically has the strongest 3A region in the state. I mean, you've got tons of you've got, of course, Mineola, Atlanta, Queen City, Redwater, New Diana. I mean, you've got a ton of amazing 3As in just our region. But then if you look at East Texas as a whole, it's interesting. I think the most, and those that are Texas band scholars may know this even more. David Ingram would be a good one to ask about this. But, I think Longview is kind of well known as being the most storied band program in the state. You know, as far as having the best bands, Pete Kunkel, and back in the day where they were just such a stellar band program. Of course, I know Berkner and Duncanville, and there's a lot of bands that have great histories as well in that part of the state, and even probably in a lot of other areas. Um, but I think there's a good argument to be made that Longview may be, over the course of history, maybe the one of the, if not the strongest, one of the strongest band programs in Texas, and it has created kind of a influence through East Texas, and of course the military side of that is certainly an influence from that era, and then of course Texas A&M stayed military, and so that that military uh, tradition has hung on longer than anywhere else in the country. But of course, there's tons of bands that aren't military that are great bands in our area too. I don't really know what it is. I think, like you said, iron sharpens iron, and when you have when you're in close proximity to good band programs, it just kind of perpetuates itself and continues to build. I've only been in Region Four as a teacher, so I couldn't say too much. Now I've judged all over the state, and you're right. There are areas that are stronger than others, and certainly East Texas is one of the stronger areas. Now, and it's funny because we have no 6As in our region, zero, not one 6A in our region, no, and we only have about five A's left. So it is definitely a small school part of the state, but really good bands nonetheless.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is what I said to somebody. I go like, if you look at the Leander ISD like situation, those bands are great. And I think because like one band is great, the other band said, I'm going to be great too, which made another band go, I'm going to be great too. And they just started this whole entire movement within their district. I mean, because you
Mhm.
look at Cedar Park, Rouse,
Mhm.
Vandergrift,
Yeah.
Glenn, I'm forgetting someone.
Leander,
Leander,
Vista Ridge.
yeah, Vista Ridge. Like, how many of those have an honor band in them?
Well, look at Louisville ISD.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, you got the three of the best band programs in the state in one school district, and the same thing in Leander. It's wild. And when I was a kid, it was Spring ISD. It was Spring High School and Westfield. They were in the same school district, and they were the two of the best bands in the state. And of course, they're in Houston area. When I was a kid, man, it was all about Spring and Westfield, and then in the Metroplex, I thought the best band was LD Bell. They were just Bell High School in Hurst. Oh my gosh, I remember watching them at the DMI Duncanville marching contest, and my jaw hit the ground. It was just I just couldn't believe how good they were when I was a kid. And so, like it's the same thing back then as it is now, just in different parts of the state. It has to do with I think some with certainly in the bigger schools, um, an influx of a specific clientele and certain amounts of resource and things, which is but man, you can't argue with the great success that, just like you said, it just kind of perpetuates itself, and it it spreads.
yeah, and East Texas has always been present, always. Like, I feel like that's like the person that's like, oh, you know that meme where it's is it James Franco first time when he's
Yeah, is it
when,
James Franco?
I think it's James Franco. Whenever he's like to be, it's like a western. He's about to be, hung, and then he
Okay.
turns over and he goes, "First time." That's like the way I feel like East Texas is. They leaning over to someone going, "First time."
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's funny.
I mean,
Yeah,
just
no
because,
question
like,
about it.
your program, Mineola, and you named them off, Atlanta, what Brian Sowers is doing over at Tenaha, like all these
Hmm.
like programs and how concentrated they are in East Texas, and it's like crazy.
Yeah, it's great. Sometimes we take it for granted. I mean, I think some of us take it for granted how it's just normal here, to have good bands. I mean, you go to marching. I mean, you go to marching contest or you go to concert contest, and it's a ton of first divisions, and you're going, they're just giving out ones, I guess, but really it's just good band. It's just good playing. Everybody's meeting the standard. Everybody's playing well. Um, and so, I think it is, and it could be an easy thing to take for granted.
Shout
Uh,
out Chris Clifton. I forgot about Chris.
Go,
oh
Chris.
yeah, Chris. Yeah, I just talked to Chris today actually. So
So like we just named off like how many honor bands?
Yeah.
I know.
It's like, oh, okay, well, there's another honor band. It's almost like you get behind the pine curtain, you throw a rock, you hit an honor band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, not in 4A yet, but we're hoping to change that. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard y'all's recordings. Like, dear Lord, hold on,
We'll
hold
see.
on now, hold
Yeah.
on. So like, how has it been like being in the like central hub of military bands and y'all being a core style band?
You know, I've never been in a military band. I've always been in core style bands in East Texas. So I think it's the communities we coexist, but I mean, it's a pretty even split, if not more core style now. It was crazy. Pine Tree moved to core style. I wouldn't have thought that being there in Longview. Um, but
I mean, it's
I
called
don't.
Pine Tree, you know,
I know
like
it's called Pine Tree, and they
Pine
moved to
Tree,
core
and you're
style.
doing like core style.
I know. Yeah,
Like what?
it was crazy, but they're doing. You know, Jason Smith's moved over there, and they're
Yeah, and he's rocking it. So
oh yeah, Jason, yeah, where he is. So yeah, it's I would say, you know, 4A, the big 4A in our, of course, they're in Region 21, but the 4A, the military 4A powerhouse is Lindell. And of course, Gilmer is in our region, and they won the state championship this year. They beat Lindell. Yeah, I mean, there's some great band programs. We don't, you know, we have to compete against like Lindell for honor band and like against Gilmer for all region students. But now that we have the two separate tracks for marching band, you know, we're kind of separate. Truth be told, I mean, it really is kind of separate. At least in the fall, we certainly are. And there's different philosophies. I know, you know, some band programs have one big band for their concert band, and like we have almost a true wind ensemble in my group. There's not one on the part, but it's not a ton of kids on a part, and some sections is one on a part. And so it's just different philosophies on how you do it, and you know, and this and that. I don't think it really, you know, a good band program's a good band program, really.
mm-hmm. Yep. So, have you ever gone to a stump burning?
No, what's that?
Apparently, the military guys have a stump burning, and that's where you
Really?
learn how to. Yeah, was it Brian that talked about it or Chris?
No, it was Chris.
Okay.
Burning some stumps.
Oh, I always assume Brian because I always bring this up. Brian is a card carrying member of NAMBY.
Yeah.
So,
but
Is he
apparently,
really?
yeah.
he sure is because he
And
goes to the pre-UIL, so he has to be.
And he went to Will's Point too. He wasn't
Yep.
military.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he goes to their contest, their pre-UI contest.
They put on a good contest, and he likes to go, so he's a member.
I think I had heard that. Yeah, he's like the only non-military band. I'm surprised. I guess if he pays the entry fee, they don't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, but apparently they have like a meeting, and one of the things they do is that they have like a get together afterwards, and they burn a stump.
Chris did talk about that in
And
his
they
podcast.
they burn a stump, and they like. I mean, because military marching band is like so much a like heritage, lineage, like word of mouth type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, so many military directors like straight up just write their own drill.
Yeah, I know, man. They do. In fact, I got a call from the current director at Longview High School at the time, who now is one of my best friends. I didn't even hardly know him. And he called me, said, "Hey, why don't you come work for me at Longview High School?" This was back when I was just a middle school director. And that was one of those times when I was interviewing in the Metroplex. And I thought I was going to Northwest ISD, to one of the middle schools there. In fact, I interviewed, thought I was going to get the job. And I told him, I said, "Man, I don't know anything about military band." He said, "Man, I can teach you everything about military band in one afternoon." That's what he told me. I said, "I don't think so. I think you're overestimating my ability, my friend." But man, they write their own drill, and they get out there and put kids in certain spots and teach them how to do it. And it's funny because I never really had much connection with any military band other than at region contests we would hear kids talk about how much better it was than corps style from the schools. We could hear them say it, oh my gosh, I can't believe anybody would do corps style marching band. It's so this is what we do. They are very entrenched in their tradition. But since my son's been in the Aggie band and we've been watching the Aggie band, going down, watching Dr. Ray work that group, we get down and watch the rehearsals. Of course, we have season tickets now. We got to watch him. Got to watch him perform in Kyle Field. And man, I've really enjoyed learning more about it and watching what they do and the tradition that goes with it and how much the people that are a part of that, the band fans or the community, if you will, how much respect and love they have for that. I mean, man, when that Aggie band step off from the quad, there's 20,000 people crowding this band, and they walk with the band all the way to Kyle Field. People everywhere, it's a huge thing there, man. And it's like that at a lot of the military high schools in East Texas. I mean, still is.
See, what you need to do is try and get invited to one of the stump burnings and really find out.
No kidding. I need to learn. I need to get initiated. That's right.
Yeah. But like Chris told us that, I was all like, "Excuse me," like
that's bizarre. Is this some type of ritual or what?
I was like,
I think so.
They're bringing out the druids, like
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it is.
Maybe they fill it full of incense and light it on.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but apparently that's what they do. I mean, could you imagine if that's the way we did core style stuff? We burn a stump, and this is where we learn choreo. This is a forced arch.
Plie.
Yeah, this is a plie.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, but like that's like the cool thing about the military stuff is just like it is so tight knit and like it is like entrenched in that tradition. And it's I've always wondered what it's like to be like a core style band in the military like heart, because it is different.
Like I said, it's I guess it's just normal to us because we've been here so long. I really can't think of that it would be much different than being in any other part of the state from my perspective. I mean, we see them march at UIL, and now when they were with us in marching band, that's a different world because it's such a different activity. I remember in high school at Quitman, 1997, I believe, we had an area year that year. And man, we went to area at Mesquite Memorial, and there were, I think, 26, 27 bands there. So with today's standards, just in that regard, 5 would have advanced. Only 2 advanced back then, period. Only 2. And every year we were getting beat out by James Kaufman at New Boston. They were amazing. And Spring Hill was so good. All these Gilmer, all these amazing military bands. And then finally, we actually not only did we beat New Boston, we beat Atlanta. Neil Sutton was there. They were amazing. Arnie Lawson, when he was at Pleasant Grove, they were amazing. We actually beat those bands. We thought we can finally advance to state. And a little guy named Rob Toops won the contest. First time they advanced to state, Canton. And then second place was Princeton. I think that was the beginning of. They had been good, I think, in the past, but Quitman, we got third place and didn't make it. But to beat some of those powerhouse military bands that were always so awesome, and then when I went to Winsboro, same thing as a director. We were second place coming out of prelims at area at SFA, and I could just taste the state marching contest. I had that Winsboro band so prepared. We come out, of course, Chris Brandon was at Mineola. They were first, of course, ones across. And then we were second coming out of prelims. I could just taste it. And, man, New Boston just popped up and beat us, knocked us out. And another, I think maybe New Diana and Spring Hill went up. I mean, all just 3 of the best bands in the area, military bands. Man, it was just so hard to compete with those bands because the precision level that they had with what they did was hard to compete with in a core idiom because what we did was so different.
Yeah, I mean, there's some great there's great. You said it. Good band is good band.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's right.
So do you have a favorite part of like the marching arts?
My favorite part of the marching arts is probably just watching. I mean, I don't really have a specific part of marching band in general. Like, I do enjoy kind of taking a theme and developing a show. I've kind of prided myself on kind of being a little bit of a producer in that regard, where I'm not like I was telling some other people, I'm not too good at uh, design as far as from scratch. But if I get something from a team, we can take and really tweak it and make it that much better. And I do it. We enjoy that as a staff, looking at what we have and continually making it better. I mean, our show from area to state changes a lot every year. I mean, we're constantly taking feedback from not just adjudicators at contests, but clinicians and anybody that'll give us feedback. And we're looking at that and trying to continue to make that product better. I think that's my favorite part is watching the product never reach satisfactory in our minds, just continually getting better and the kids buying in on that. Now we do have to communicate with that this is why we're doing this. This is the goal, that we're, you know, where we were at yesterday is not good enough for today or tomorrow. And so I would say that's my favorite part of it. But it's no different than what we do in concert band, truth be told. It's all about continual progress and music, making great music. That's probably my favorite part of all that.
Okay, I got a tough question for you.
All right.
What would you rather win, the state marching contest or honor band?
It's a hard question.
It's hard. That is really hard. I mean, for the community and the kids, the marching band would be number one, no question about it. That would resonate so much in our community and with our kids. And they look at how much that takes more time than concert band. It just does. So in their minds, it's a harder task to achieve. And because of that, it's probably going to weigh more on their minds as far as being more impressive. I think honor band would be my choice. Just to give a concert at TMEA and get to do that and just see all of that, just the musical moments that you can create. There's only so much you can do in a marching field, but the musical moments you can do on stage with a wind ensemble is just special to me. I really have enjoyed that. I love marching band and I love what the kids can do in marching band. My choice would probably be honor band, but for the program, it would be marching band. I mean, I don't know what I said. What I meant by that is mine would probably be honor band. For the program, it would be probably more beneficial for the students to win marching band. And then the other thing that's weird is, a band, you have this great band, they win honor band, then the seniors don't even get to perform.
That is the tough thing about honor band. Like you really have to work hard to include the graduating seniors.
Yeah.
I know.
Some people do.
Yeah, I know you can. Yeah, I actually didn't even know that till Jim Best told me he did that. He brought back he said we had to bring back our oboist because we didn't have an oboist.
Yeah.
The next year, in 3A that happens sometimes, even in 4A. And so he brought back his oboist as a graduate, and she performed at the honor band concert as well as some others. And for some reason, I just didn't really even think about that. But I certainly wouldn't be opposed to it if the kids were available and willing, especially some of my rock star seniors that would be let's be honest, would be the reason that we won if we won. Those leadership kids that put that on their, that are the backbone of the program. So yeah, that's a unique type of a thing. So,
and like, I asked that question because like it's always interesting to hear like the reasoning behind each one, because like professionally you want to do honor band, like really professionally, because that's just there's just a different type of emotion that's attached to like
mm-hmm.
to the concert setting than what there is marching band.
Yeah.
But the marching band has such a, I hate to say, larger like ripple effect
Hmm.
than what the concert band side would.
Well, it's the most visible
Yeah.
part of your program. And that's
Hmm.
just how it is, you know. There's
Yeah.
more people at a football game than can hold in an auditorium most of the time.
I mean, there's only been one person that we've talked to that has won honor band state marching contest
And
and
grandnats.
grandnats.
He's kind of a
Mike.
unicorn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike Howard.
Yeah, I know. Mike, another percussion head director.
Yeah,
Yep.
there you go.
Yep. There you go.
There you go. That's
The
right.
theory holds true.
Oh my
That's
goodness!
right.
And it's just like, where do we do now?
I know. Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
so
I
like
know.
Spencer, what do you wish you knew before like really getting into like the position of being a band director? Like, what's something that you're like, man, I wish I would have known more about this before I decided to do this.
I kind of alluded to it earlier, just that um I wish early on that I would have been more, I guess, early on. Now, it didn't take me long to kind of learn my lesson, but I think early on, if I would have just had the opportunity to uh, have more consultation from people that knew a lot more than me, and started from the very beginning, just really thinking on another on I guess a little bit wider of a level. I have young directors that are with us that I think do that. We've set kind of an atmosphere up where we have high expectations, and we talk about textures, and we talk about colors, and we talk about things that are super important for to make a band sound great. And man, I look back when I first started, and I was just trying to survive. I was just trying to get through the day and not look like an idiot. I mean, they put me in front of 25 sixth grade clarinets my first year, and I'm like, I'm a drummer, and I teach beginning clarinet, and I had one woodwind class, and this and that. And so that I wish I would have been able to just say, okay, this is my task, and come up with um, a better strategy to have that success happen, I guess, sooner. Thinking on that level instead of just going, I just got to try to get through this class and do the best I can,
Yeah.
at the beginning.
I wish I would have known to just shut up and listen.
Yeah.
Like just really upfront, just like and we've gotten really good about it. And I mean, as band directors, like when you just sit there and you listen to students and the things that they say, you find out so many things. And I love it. And if I just would have done that earlier, like in college, and just sat there and just listened and like
Yeah.
really absorbed the information, or just took the opportunities to go like, I hear what you're actually saying, and then put that into practice, that would have been a completely different like journey for me.
Well, and you're not even talking about like band. You're just talking about as a human
Yeah.
listening to what others have to say. It's a good skill.
Yeah. Just like, you're saying this and I understand.
Well, that also is just like part of forging a relationship. If it's just a one-sided, like you speak and they are supposed to listen, that's like a lecture. It's not like an interactive. And then you don't really form a relationship. There's like a wall, So you have to listen to learn.
I think as a young teacher, though, it's important to seek out that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, there's a lot of opportunities where people feel like they may want to help, but they don't want to step on anyone's toes, or they don't want to offend anyone. I think it's the responsibility of the young teacher to, to seek out that guidance and that mentorship, and at least make it known that, hey, this is something that I need help on. I want to get better. And it's just kind of one of those things. I read a Facebook post by a kind of a he's an acquaintance of mine and a quasi friend of mine, but he's a really influential man in our community. He's a counselor, but he's a faith based Christian counselor. And he took a selfie with a young man. They were at lunch, and the quote was, when this young man asked asked me to mentor him and asked me to if I could help him with Christian counseling and and mentorship, I knew that's he said basically said that was all I needed to know about him to know that he was going to be successful because he reached out to this other guy I'm talking about initially and asked for that help and created that relationship. And I think that's important. You know, I didn't do that early on, and then it didn't take me long to learn my lesson. But you know, fortunately, and I have other staff members who have struggled with finding, you know, a true mentor, and just find somebody and ask them to for your help. And if you and there's we have you know the rock star mentors are always going to be you can't go wrong with the with certain you know Sherry Poteet and Bob Veteran, James Kaufman, Randy Jones, Rob Toops, you know, so many, Kathy Johnson. I mean, so many of the good mentors in the Metroplex, Melody Ann and Jolette. And I mean, just so many good people you can reach out to that they're willing to give you, you know,
Well,
some help.
I also
And Jeff Bradford told me, he said, first thing James Kaufman was one of his big mentors too, but when he got to Lake Highlands, I think, first thing he did was just call Tom Shine. He's like, didn't even know him. Just called Tom Shine, said, "Hey, would you come work with my band?" And they forged this huge relationship. And you know, so Jeff, you know, Mr. Richardson ISD Fine Arts. I mean, he's the man. It all, you know, it just happens.
Well, I think that also shows like a big part of humility and vulnerability that it's just like, hey, like this is I need this. Like this is and you are someone who has it, and like please help me get there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like me, like maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but sometimes it's nice being the pretty girl being asked out to the dance.
I hear you.
Like just ask me. Oh, I
Well,
feel pretty.
Man,
hey, we could do a lot worse, Mr. Sanchez. So,
there's a lot of pretty
That's
girls.
a lot of pretty girls. Oh, you know, so like, John Shriver, you know,
Oh
great,
yeah.
man,
great, great. If you don't know John, he's so funny. He's
he's
so,
just a girl.
but he's our interim region coordinator right now, and he's doing a fantastic job. But like, when he's like in a moment of
When
like
he's stressed,
just stress, he just goes, "Well, I'm just a girl,"
I'm
and
just a girl. He's been saying it a lot
yeah,
recently.
I know. It's just like, just trying to figure things out. I'm just a girl. I'm like, oh, okay. Spence, do you have like a favorite like memory as like a band director or as a student?
Um, man, my favorite memory as a band director uh, with students is probably that first year that we had that great result at the state marching contest in 22. That was just it was great. It was so exciting, and I wanted that again for the kids since they've been you know just out of the medals the last every year since. Uh, they've been disappointed, you know, at that moment, which is crazy to me to be you know the fourth best band in the state consistently every year and be disappointed. But you know, we all want to you know one up it. But that was really fun. I say as a professional, my most prized memory is when I was told Friday morning of Team EA in 2020, I believe it was, that I was getting inducted in Phi Beta Mu, and that was huge to me. Just the fact that uh, you know people that my colleagues felt that I was worthy of that, and to be around such amazing teachers, you know, in that organization, that was huge too.
Those are very special. I mean, I can't even imagine like coming out, like going to your first state marching contest and then being like top four, like you want to talk about a rush of feelings.
Hmm.
Like I can't even imagine what that was like. Like we've made the state marching contest and we've been in finals, but like that
Yeah.
first swing and then you land like that, golly, your kids must have been hype.
Yeah, they were pumped, man. It like I said, it's um we want I really would I'd like to see them. I mean, they would have just if we would have been able to get just even the bronze medal in any of those other 3 years, they would have had that same euphoric thought, and moment. But I think everything, obviously everything's for a reason, and they're learning lessons about how to continue to work hard and do your best, and we try to communicate how special what they've done is to them, but kids,
But yeah,
Oh,
so
no,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. There are so many other bands that have not even gotten this close.
Hmm.
But so okay, here's another good question. Like, what do y'all do after the state marching contest when you have a football game that Friday?
it's funny because one year we had a playoff game because marching contest was so late. We went straight to a playoff game, and we we played our show out there. Now, granted, it was freezing, and we went straight from San Antonio to Forney for a playoff game, and we just everybody bundled up in whatever they had, man. We marched the show in just random clothes. Um, and we've done that. We've done just spirit shows if we feel like we're just kind of spent. We'll go into spirit shows or something. Are you talking about for the rest of the marching season?
I mean, that first one after the
That
state
first
marching
one
contest.
after? Yeah, we've done both. We've done the show before, and then we've done just spirit shows. Um, if we feel like it's just kind of now the kids always seem to kind of want to do the show. They're so tired of it by that point. But then after state, they don't want to let go of that show. They want one more run at it. And sometimes we've done it, and sometimes we haven't. It just depends on the year.
I need that fix. I need it one last time.
I know. It's funny because they'll be like, "I'm so sick of this show," and I'll say, "Yeah, okay, we're gonna do a spirit show, that last game or whatever." And they're like, "All right," and then after state, they're like, "Can we do the show again, please?" I'm like,
Like
I don't know.
you're playing
I'm
with my
kind of over it
emotions there.
too.
Yeah,
And we have too much stuff, dude,
Yeah, there's
to
so
take
much
yeah,
stuff.
everywhere.
yeah,
If we don't have to
yeah.
take that stuff, we don't want to take it.
So much
Yeah,
stuff.
no, yeah. So,
So,
are there any other mentors? You've mentioned quite a few mentors and people who've helped you along. Is there anyone else that you would like to shout out before we move on?
um, I think, like I said, James has been my biggest mentor. As of late, I've really leaned on Rob, uh, and he's been super helpful with it, with helping our program continue. And I don't consult some of these guys as much as I probably should. Now, James, I do, but and we've connected with some with Randy Jones now. With him being retired, he's been helpful and sent some stuff my way, which I really really appreciate. But yeah, it's just kind of a band family.
Which is, I mean, like I said, the more you support you can get, I mean, it's just like with the kids. Like if you get them in a private lesson program, it helps them get better. It's the same thing with us. Like if you
Yeah,
find that person that you trust and
yeah.
that can give you the feedback that you need to
Hmm.
get better, I mean, it's just going to benefit the program overall.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, and David Landry too. I forgot to mention David. He's been a good friend and mentor too for many years.
I mean, it seems like you
And
have
David,
like seriously, you have such a great like community of people to help point you in a direction that you might
yeah,
that you feel like you need.
yeah. I mean, David's helped me find two of the best staff members I've ever hired, straight from him. So I mean, that's another good resource that people sometimes don't realize that, man, when you're trying to find a staff member, man, people that know other people can really really be of influence. So yeah.
So Spencer, when you are not doing the band thing, what do you do to unwind?
Man, I love to. I've always been a snow skier. That's like my favorite thing to do as far as just an activity. And I've really, as of late, loved skiing with my boys. In fact, we're going Winter Park this spring break. Um, but we're kind of avid snow skiers. We love to do that, but a little less, I guess, a little bit more casual of a hobby is lately. I've really gotten into hiking too. Um, I've got to where Christy and I went to Oahu a summer or two ago, and man, the best part about that trip was just finding all the little cool hiking trails in Hawaii, and going. We'd find some, like, some of these trails that you find on you that people tell you on YouTube. They tell you where to go. Like you pull off the side, you go down this road, pull off the side, park by the big tree, you walk 50 yards down the road, and there's a no trespassing sign that's all rusted. And look down, you'll see the corner of the chain link fence curled up. Crawl under that, and then you're in a bamboo forest. And then there'll be like little pink ribbons every 50 yards. Follow these pink ribbons through this bamboo forest, and then all of a sudden you're at this beautiful waterfall. And went through like 8 or 10 awesome hikes to waterfalls and up, mountain ridges, and just it was so beautiful. And we fell in love with that. My son and I, on his senior trip, we went to Palm Springs, California. He's a tennis player too, and we went to the Indian Wells Tennis Tournament, which is like the second biggest tournament in the country behind the U.S. Open. And out in Palm Springs, huge tennis center, gorgeous place. And of course, you're in the mountains there too. Of course, you're in the desert in Palm Springs, but just between Palm Springs and the beach is a mountain range. We flew into Long Beach, and then we drive through the mountains, out across the mountains, then you end up in the desert. And that's like the Joshua Tree National Park forest there, where the Joshua trees grow. Mm-hmm. And it's a beautiful place. But man, we had so many cool hikes up in the mountains in that area, and just doing that with him. And then of course, Christy, my wife, has been game to go on some of the big hikes with us when we're on vacation and stuff. Man, it's a way that you get up, you hike up a mountain, you get to the summit, you just sit there and look across the ocean, or you look across the vegetation, and man, it's just relaxing, and you just kind of get to kind of put it all away, and it's really, really helpful.
So, have you ever done a band trip to Winter Park?
I have never done a band trip west. We've always gone to Orlando or Chicago or DC or Branson or places like that. So have y'all done that?
No, but we've talked about it, and I'm like, but I don't know what my kids would be like.
I'm scared to take the kids skiing. I don't know.
But you're talking about actually skiing.
Oh yeah.
Like you can take them to Winter Park. Like they have a whole entire band festival there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well now you do, Spencer.
Well, hey, planted the seed. Awesome. But I don't know that my nerves. I am like
same.
When you I don't know that my nerves can handle that. As soon as a kid breaks his leg, or hits a tree or something, or you gets caught skiing without his helmet on or something, I don't know, man. That'd be tough. Now, Mike Bartley used to take the Canton band all the time to Colorado, but they wouldn't ski. They would like climb Pikes Peak and do stuff like that out there. I thought that's what you were talking about, but I don't know, man. You'd be braver than me, man. To take those kids skiing.
Like, from what I know, the Clifton band program used to go to a ski lodge during spring break. That was their
big. Did they ski, or did they just hang out at the lodge?
Is that Don Theote? Is it?
No, it wasn't Don. It was Keith.
Oh, Keith.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I think that's what they used to do during spring break. They would take the Clifton band to the ski lodge, and he said it was like one of the best times ever.
I'm sure it was fun.
Yeah,
I don't know about that, because even.
I mean, I wouldn't.
We have kids go from personal experience. They're like, "Oh, I'm going skiing over the break," and then they come back and their arms in a cast.
Yeah, not the first time.
And that's them with their family.
I know. It's gonna happen, man. I've been on a lot of church ski trips, and almost every time somebody has a twisted ankle or
somebody praises the Lord.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. They have to be very. They're their faith is tested for that way.
Yes.
Repent.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, they try not to say the bad wordy dirts whenever they hit the tree, I guess. But yeah,
Man.
So what's something that you wish you could bring back?
bring back like what in band directing
Anything.
or in life?
No, anything.
Oh, I'll tell you what I wish we could bring back: life with no cell phones.
We're getting a taste
Man,
of it right now, man.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's I'm from a little bit older generation than you youngins, but man, I don't know. I mean, I'm just as dependent on it as anyone for work and communication, and it is it is unnerving to not be able to get a hold of your kid at all times now. But that was normal, man. Back in the day, it was normal, and kids, I don't know, just the cell phone thing with kids is they're just so attached to it, and it's a thing that's just a normal thing now. But I'm still just not quite on board with it with kids that would rather be on their phone than go out and hang out with their friends or go out and do things with other people or go out and shoot hoops, like we used to do. We used to do pickup hockey games in the road with the random people on our street. I mean, we'd throw on our rollerblades and grab a couple of brooms and a soccer ball and play hockey. And I mean, that was when we were younger, but we played basketball all the time outside. And
Pick up
I
baseball
don't know. I
game.
just wish and practice. I mean, I don't know, kids. I don't know. It's there's a lot of benefit to the technology, and I think it's great in many many regards. But it wouldn't hurt me if went back in time and somebody just didn't invent the iPhone. you know,
Spencer's like, get off my lawn.
I know. I'm like this old geezer that doesn't want anything to change. Now I've really tried to embrace more change, and develop and try and do, try and stay up with the times. I tell the kids and tell the staff, we want to be Google, we don't want to be Yahoo. You want to move, you want to progress and get, and build with the times and continue to stay on the cutting edge of everything. And sometimes it's hard for somebody like me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Did you say that again? We don't want to be like Google, but we don't want to be like Yahoo.
We want to be like Google. We
want
don't
to
want to
be
be like
Google.
Yahoo.
Okay.
We want to be
Yeah,
good.
Okay. So
Yahoo. When I was a kid, I still have a Yahoo email account.
No,
dude.
that's what I was about to say. Is because the email I sent this Google link to
Was
was
Yahoo
a
account?
Yahoo account.
I
And I'm
know,
just like,
I know,
it's
I
so
know, I know.
funny that you should say that.
I know.
Spencer,
I'm
you
like,
got to practice what you preach.
I know. Well, here's this is funny. This is my personality. I created that email in I think 1994, maybe 95. That was my very first email address ever, and I have never swayed from it. I've used that same email the entire time, and now it's a challenge. Now I'm like, I can't get rid of this email because I've used it for so long, and it's a personal challenge now. I'm gonna hold on to it as long as I can. It's just my first initial, my middle initial, and my last name. I guess I was mature enough as a 14-year-old to pick a my name for my email. I had friends that were doing like, Wizard 103 and, basketball all star, things like that for their emails. And I don't know, it's just a weird thing. It is funny that I said that and have a email like
that was a good decision when you created that email technically and you had the foresight to do it in a professional manner or a mature manner, because now creating an email in any other location, you have to include numbers and everything else. Like I tried to create like a personal email as Jose A. Sanchez. Forget it. Sanchez, Jose A. Forget it. Do you know how many Jose Sanchez's there are in the world?
Yeah, I know.
And so I mean, you were really, really on the up and up on that one. That's why I was like, but I was like, Spencer rocking the Yahoo email.
I know that you knew you were talking to an old geezer when you saw that.
Okay, what
It
is
just,
your okay? Does your Yahoo email get spammed like nobody's business?
it was getting really, really bad. In fact, I was pulling my hair out. I was getting so many, and I told Christy, I said, I am this close to having to get rid of my like prized email account. And then I was just looking on this thing one day, and there's this button up there that says spam. So I start clicking on all these emails and then send those to spam. And then from now on, if they send another one, it goes to spam. And I'm like, I just fixed this thing. This is amazing. So where I would get like 50 emails a day, now I'm getting like 8. So and it just made my life so much better. So yeah, I figured it out.
That's awesome.
That spam folder
This is
coming in real
I am the
clutch.
last year of Gen X, so born in '80. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
I'm an old geezer.
You're not that much older than Jose.
Yeah, no, not really.
You're 5 years older than him.
Okay, good. There we go.
Yeah, I
Nice.
just turned 40.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm waiting for the grays to really set in.
I have to say, I thought you were more like 30. I really
Thank
did.
you.
He just has a young face.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I have like one gray hair. I have
On your
one.
beard?
Yeah, on my beard.
Yeah.
If you pluck it, 2 will grow back. So just leave it.
So
Mhm.
well. Here's the thing. It's annoying because it's just the one. Like if I had like more, then I wouldn't mess with it. But it's the one.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
just
funny.
like the ketchup on the shirt. You know what I mean? Like you're wearing a white shirt and you get that little sprinkle of ketchup or something on it. Nobody else can see it, but you know it's there.
Yeah. I hear you.
That's
man.
me. That's me.
I've way past 1, but I mean, it's not too bad. I've still got some kind of, it's not too bad.
I have so many gray hairs. Like, I'm envious of both of you.
So is there one performance or award that means more to you than others, other than your email?
No, it's going to be hard to compete with that. It's just a prized possession. Not really. Everything is we're pretty much always looking to the next thing. It's one of those things where it's like you get something good happens and it lasts about that long and it's time to move on to the next thing. Um, you know, I will say probably being inducted into Phi Beta Mu is the most lasting honor and that I can kind of think of right now, just because it's just so many people that I respect are involved in that. And of course, my really good friends and mentors were the ones that kind of shepherded that process, and it just meant a whole lot. So, yeah.
So Spencer, if it wasn't banned, what would have it have been?
Uh, you know, probably probably a church, full time church work. However, I've often wondered as of late, we kind of you have to kind of sell your program, and you have to kind of recruit people and motivate people to do well, and motivate people to reach expectations in band directing. And I often wonder, what could I've done in the business world, as an entrepreneur. And I have certainly thought about that. And my middle son's really interested in entrepreneurship and business in general, and him, getting him more involved in that and asking questions and things. You know, I see a lot of correlation in what we do and what a successful entrepreneur or a business leader, a leading of a team, to mainly for profit. Let's be honest. What we do is for shaping lives, which is really admirable. And what you would do in the business world, and some people claim they're trying to do something to, to save the world, but really it's capitalism for a profit. And it's just, I thought sometimes I'm thinking, what would that be? But I will say I am really happy with what I'm doing. I enjoy being a band director. I enjoy what we do, and I think we have the best job on campus. As far as if we're in education, being a band director is the best.
So okay, let me backtrack on something. So you have 3 sons. One's a freshman in college. The second one is a sophomore in high school, and the other one's a 7th grade. Okay, so what instrument does your sophomore play?
Euphonium.
Euphonium.
Yeah,
Why did you have to do that to him?
he's a euphonium. I know. It's fun. I did not allow any. People go. All 3 of my boys are brass players, And they're like, "You don't have a drummer?" I'm like, "No, I wanted to play a real instrument. I wanted to play, you know,
The same way.
yeah." I'm like, I wanted to play a real instrument, something they could play a melody on, something they could open their case and play something for somebody, whether it be in church or at a family gathering, or maybe with a little group at a restaurant if they wanted to. I wanted, I just wanted that for them. So
Spencer,
I've got
you
to.
gave that child the true middle child syndrome. Not quite a trombone, not quite a tuba, right in the middle.
That is true. That is true. That's so funny.
I don't know.
Yeah. And
Spencer could play Melody Shop one day.
Yeah,
And
yeah, there you go.
hey, yeah, I've got an all-state euphonium player. So
there you
hey,
go.
uh, yeah, I've got a horn, a euphonium, and a trumpet. So I've got a little brass trio.
That's fun.
Okay,
That's a good combo.
I was wondering. I was wondering about that. I was like, oh, which reminds me because band seems to be a family tradition because you are how many siblings do you have?
I have three siblings.
Uh-huh. And
Yep.
how many of them are involved in the profession of band?
Well, there's only one.
Uh-huh. That's
Yeah, yeah,
one more than most.
yeah. My sister, her husband is the band director at Farmersville, and she does color guard and all their show planning and stuff for the Farmersville band program. So yeah, how'd you know that?
So your sister actually called me.
Really?
Yes, because like we when we had our show a couple years ago with the giant flowers, somebody gave her my number. I don't know who it was. Maybe it was Clint because Clint also works there. Clint Cox, great guy. Um, and she gave me a call and was like, "Hey," or she sent me an email. I can't remember. It was something, but she was like, "Hey, how did like y'all do the flowers and all that kind of stuff?" And I'm like, "Well, give me a call." And we communicated, and she goes, "Oh, my brother is Spencer. I'm sorry."
Interesting. I have to ask her about that.
No, she was very complimentary of you.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
like, "Oh yeah, my brother Spencer. You know, he's over at," and I go, "I promise I won't hold that against you."
yeah. Please don't. Yeah, she's really good at she loves has a passion for. I mean, she works in real estate or like for like title loans and things. But I think she's most happiest helping marching band. She really has a passion for show planning and prop schematic and uh, just storyboarding and things like that. So she's pretty good. She's really good at it.
Which is interesting
And
because
color
like
guard.
yeah, well, it's interesting because like band can like it doesn't have to stop.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's just she's good at that and has and she was I don't even know if she was in color guard in high school. In fact, I don't think she was. I think she was drum major. She's 7 years younger than me, so I was off and gone when she was kind of in her heyday in school. But she was drum major. I do remember that. I don't know that she was even in color guard, but she's really good color guard teacher. They always do real well. I think they always really win. They win tons of color guard awards over there at Farmersville. So she's doing a good job.
That's
So
awesome.
okay, so where are you at in the sibling order?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest. So you
Yeah.
were the trendsetter.
Man, I don't know about that. I got a very successful younger brother, man. He's killing it. He's the owner of a huge architecture firm in Dallas and building all the Anna schools, all the Melissa schools. I mean, he's killing it. So no, whatever example I set, he decided to go. Oh, let's go this way and do a whole lot better as far as things of that nature. So yeah, proud of him. He's done awesome too. And my other brother, Kyla's twin, he
Twin. There you
she's
go.
actually a twin, fraternal. Are y'all's fraternal or identical?
Yeah, we have a boy and a girl. So
Okay, you do. Okay, great. So my little brother and sister are fraternal twins too. And my brother, that was the twin, um, he he uh, he was a percussionist too, actually, but didn't. His claim to fame is long distance running. a state track meet finalist in Texas, and national junior Olympian, and college scholarship to Tarleton on long distance. And he's the man with running, and runs marathons and stuff, and wins everything he's in. And anyway, he was a nurse, but now he's doing online file reviews uh, for medical things, claims and things, and really does enjoy it. But yeah, I've got good, very successful, good siblings
Yeah.
that
So
that
what it
hasn't
sounds
definitely
like.
taken my leads, which has been good.
So what it sounds like is that you guys financially crippled your parents.
Yes, pretty much.
We were just talking about that earlier because I can't remember what we were talking about.
I said, "Do you ever think we're going to be able to renovate our house?"
And I said, no, having the twins financially crippled us.
It's like the Tiger King. Like I'll never financially recover from this.
Just wait till you're paying tuition, man, and college
I
stuff.
know. I know. And two at the same time.
I can't imagine. And y'all are gonna have to get two cars at the same time. I mean, yeah, dude. My parents went through it too, brother. I mean,
Yep.
you can do
He
it. You can
knows.
do it.
Uh,
It will be provided. You will be surprised at how well it all turns out. But it will be a lot. So
Man. Spencer, do you have a guilty pleasure TV show?
actually, my favorite TV show, this is kind of goofy, but my favorite TV show, like I'll never get tired of watching it. King of the Hill.
Okay, respectable.
All right.
Respectable.
That is my favorite TV show, and I love Hank Hill. I love the way that he just, the things that he thinks are important. His family is important. Now, sometimes he, does some weird stuff, like everybody does. But all in all, I really love that show. It's set in Texas, kind of small town. I just kind of relate with it. And he's all about hard work and old fashioned values, and uh, that kind of stuff. I really like that.
One of my favorite strains of that show is when Hank switches over to boxers.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, yeah. He thinks he's turned into a hippie or something.
Yeah, he's all like, "Oh."
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought you were going to say the thing that we say all the time, that I don't know
Oh,
you.
I don't know you.
We say that all the time.
yeah, yeah. When Bobby's in the self defense class.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
my
yes,
purse.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know you.
Well, y'all are fans too. Okay.
I
All right.
haven't. We don't watch it as much as we should, but
That is
it
so-
does
yeah.
come up.
I would because Hank of the Hill, like King of the Hill, was like really big when I was in that range
Mhm.
in my teenage. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And so therefore, like I watched a lot of it because it just ran all the time on Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
So like
yeah. I don't know. It's just
I
one of those
watched a lot
weird
of it.
shows. Like I can turn it on whenever I just don't. I just don't want to be. I don't want to have to follow a plot real heavy. I don't want to have to worry about missing something. I don't want to. Something happens and I can't hear what's happening. I mean, I miss something on it, big deal. If I fall asleep, big deal. It just kind of makes me happy.
Do you have a favorite character out of that show?
I mean, Hank Hill's my favorite character just because of I resonate with what he thinks is what he thinks is important. But man, they all crack me up. Dale is really probably my favorite character. He just I love his conspiracy theories and all the goofy things he does, and it's just how oblivious he is to everything. And uh, even the guy who voices him cracks me up. The way, of course, he actually passed away, but it's just the voice in general just cracks me up. He's probably my favorite character to watch the show, but as far as the actual character of what they stand for and things, yeah, it's got to be Hank.
Yeah. Like, I just saw something where they somebody finally posted up that they realized what Boomhauer's real name is, and I can't remember what it actually is.
Wow.
But it's not.
Way to bring it up.
Yeah, there's an episode where they flash to his wallet for
Yep,
like
that's
that
what it
long.
is. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's on his dresser. I think it's the one where maybe he goes. I don't know if he. I think somehow he gets with this French chick. She doesn't speak English. I don't know if she comes over from France in like a house swap thing I can't remember now. But anyway, he's sitting there in his leopard print underwear, bikini, or bottom it is, and then it flashes to his wallet for about that long, and I don't remember what it is either, but I do know that's how they figured out
Yeah.
what his first name
No,
was.
no, man. No, 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 talk about it.
I know, and all those characters were Mike Judge said all those characters were basically people he knew. He just kind of created cartoons of people that really kind of existed. So funny.
And that's fun.
Yeah, that is good. Nobody's
fun.
brought up King of the Hill yet, so
No.
that was great. That was great.
Mhm.
All right, so Spencer, I have some quick fire questions for you that are never quite quick fire. So these are questions I have not sent you.
Okay.
Okay, so all right,
Here we go.
so just all right. Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, Ariana Grande, or Sabrina Carpenter.
Taylor Swift or who? Say it again.
So Taylor Swift,
Okay.
Miley Cyrus, Ariana Grande, or Sabrina Carpenter.
I'd probably say Sabrina Carpenter, maybe.
Oh,
That I don't know. I don't know her as well. The other three, I don't really care for at all.
I
So.
thought Spencer
Ooh.
was going to say he's a Swiftie.
Oh, I was kind of hoping.
Yeah,
I was kind of
my
hoping.
staff. I've got staff members that are big time Swifties, and I don't know. I'm just like y'all are crazy. They flying places to go to concerts and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw Sabrina Carpenter on Saturday Night Live, and I was like, okay, it was all right. The music was okay.
She's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a little odd, I think.
Yeah. She's like
Mhm.
was she a Disney kid? Or
Yeah, she was a Disney kid.
Nickelodeon kid? I don't know.
No, she was
I will
Disney
say
kid?
that the
both.
impressions that Ariana Grande does are funny. I really do like impressionists, and her impressions are funny. Like I saw her do Shakira the other day on a video, and it was spot on. It was good.
She is good at that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite rom com?
I actually do, but I don't know if it would be considered a rom com because it's not really. It's a kind of a weird. It's a. Have you ever seen The Intern with Anne
Yes.
Hathaway and
Yeah, great movie.
Jose
dude,
loves that movie.
that is like one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that movie, and it's not really a rom com because they're not a love interest, but
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of the
Yeah.
closest that I would say.
There's Rom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
calm.
okay. So, I mean,
But
it's a feel good movie.
Is it the massage therapist?
The
that
massage therapist,
Robert
yeah.
De Niro- yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Oh
romance.
man, they don't make actors like that anymore.
Like Robert De Niro.
Yeah. God, he's such a good actor.
He's still alive.
Yeah, I know. It's like him, Dustin Hoffman, and Al Pacino. And
Yeah.
Joe
Yeah.
Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
I like Joe Pesci. I don't know why. I just dig Joe Pesci.
Well, and Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, true. I don't know. That's just me. That's
My
that's solid.
favorite Joe Pesci movie. Well, Home Alone, but also what's the My Cousin Vinny?
Cousin Vinny? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's just I can't. When that's on, I got to watch it.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a solid.
That
movie
always
right
makes
there.
me think of Seinfeld. When
Is
we think
it
of
Ralph
My Cousin
Macchio?
Vinny, I always think of in My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Sure.
Karate Kid.
Yeah.
The Karate Kid.
Marissa Tomei won an Oscar for that movie.
Yeah.
Really?
Weird. That's weird
know
to
that.
think about. Is pineapple acceptable on pizza? Oh. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Sure.
Toilet paper, over or under?
Over.
Which Twix do you prefer, the right or the left?
Probably the right. Since I'm right-handed.
Oh. Is a black belt and brown shoes acceptable?
Wow. So I would say no, but if I have to say what I do, I would have to say yes. Sometimes I do. I like to. It's funny. I wore a black belt and brown boots to church Sunday and didn't even realize it. I had put on my black belt. I was going to wear black shoes. And right at the end, I thought, I'm going to wear my boots. And they're brown. So, yeah, I would say it was probably stupid looking, but no, I was wearing both.
All right, all right. Here you go. Sousa King or Fillmore?
Um, I've done more King marches than anything, but I'm actually doing a Fillmore march this year,
Oh,
Troopers Tribunal, which is cool, which is not all that well known of a march. But I emailed Dr. Ray and I said, "Hey, we won OPS in the march with your edit of Battle of the Winds, and I have the same killer low brass. Tell me what I needed to use." And he said Troopers Tribunal, so I'm doing it. So
nice
I
and
would
out.
say this year,
We'll be looking
Fillmore.
for that recording.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It's the kids we're just getting started on it, but we hadn't hardly got to play it. The other two pieces are so long. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, calm down, Spencer. God. Do you have a favorite stand tune?
my favorite stand tune. The kids love "Hey Baby." That's their favorite. Uh, so I would say, but it's actually not my favorite. My favorite stand tune is I know what it is. Boom, 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 boom. What is that? Uh don't what's that called? Um
I know what you're talking about. Feel it still.
Feel It Still. Feel It Still, yeah. Feel It Still. That's we do Feel It Still now, and that is my favorite stand tune. I love it. We play that at pep rallies and stuff. Yeah, it's just got a groove to it. I know it's pretty 5 years ago, but
I
Hey,
think
I
it's
like
longer
it.
than that. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
I
Yeah,
know.
have
maybe it
no
could
clue.
be. Yeah. Feel It Still. Man, you're good at name that tune. I wasn't even that good of a
Don't tell Kim.
What's the worst stand tune?
Oh my gosh, the worst stand tune. Um, my least favorite stand tune is probably Seven Nation Army because everybody plays it and everybody you just it's just one that just I'm so sick of.
Yeah, it's become a standard. It's just like
Yeah.
hearing is it Sandstorm over at
Sandstorm.
yeah, it's like the techno beat that you hear at all
Oh,
football
yeah, yeah.
games.
Check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, when they come out,
Yeah.
like when the teams come out and stuff,
Yeah.
yeah. Or the other like the old school one that I've had football coaches tell me to play is the horse. They want me to play the horse.
Yeah.
I'm
Why
like,
do coaches like the horse so
I don't
much?
know.
They
they
like
don't
the
know how hard
horse.
it is for trumpet players.
They like the
Get
horse. They
out,
like
get out.
March Grandioso.
Yeah, yeah. We played March Grandiose
Doo-da,
every single game.
dee-da, dan,
Yeah.
nobody
No
articulates
one
that
does it
correctly.
right.
No, no. Who do you text the most?
Who do I text the most? Uh,
There's only one right answer here, Spencer.
I mean, probably my wife.
There you go.
Yeah. And that's probably the truth. I mean, honestly. So I'm not really one that texts all the time, but it's funny because with Brody, my oldest son in college, it's weird. It's been an adjustment not knowing what he's doing at all times.
Mm.
That is a big adjustment for newbie college parents, I've found out. And like now, luckily we have the Life 360. That's a new thing in our family. So it's kind of cool to see where he's at. But man, when I text him, radio silence for like 2 days, and I'm just like, dude, just text me back, please. But yeah, so I mean, I text him a lot, but I don't get a lot of response, so I don't get a conversation going too much. And
It's
now
like,
2 days later, he'll give me a like. I'm like, dude, like the other day he texted me about. I texted him, hey, hope you're having a good day. He ordered a textbook. It came in, so your textbook came in. We need to find a time to get it down to you, blah blah blah. And uh, what's the weather looking like down there? Is it going to snow? Is it going to ice? We've already canceled our region clinic up here. 2 day, like a day and a half later, it's supposed to snow. That's all. I'm like, okay, well,
it's like, it's
yes,
like,
this stuff,
Dad, leave me
this,
alone, Dad.
yeah, this text thread is over. So anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I guess it's my wife.
yeah. Do you have a favorite store?
Favorite store? Uh, Probably Walgreens.
Oh, I just wish their checkout system was a lot faster than
I
what it
like
is.
Walgreens too, though.
Yeah, I pretty much avoid. I'm not going to say their name, but the big box store that everybody goes to all the time in this town. I have to I avoid that. So if I can buy anything at Walgreens, I go there instead. So it's a lot easier.
What's your walk up song?
My walk up song, uh, how about "The Power of Love" by Huey Lewis?
Oh,
That's a good
That's
one.
like
oh,
that's like my or that's probably my biggest karaoke song I like to do when we go
oh.
karaoke
All
is "The
right.
Power of Love." That's also showing my Gen X history. So there you
I
You
would,
go.
watched Back to the Future a lot, isn't
yeah,
it?
I would pay good money to see Spencer do karaoke.
Hey, it's pretty good.
We need to host
Actually,
Band
Okay,
Gap
yeah.
karaoke.
Could you imagine like Chris Clifton, Spencer, Sherry Poteet all on karaoke?
Get Brian up
hey,
there.
you know
We
what?
got to get
You know
Tammy
what?
Money.
Goss. Tammy Goss
Do
has
you
got to be
Ooh,
there.
Yeah, do you remember the Jimmy Fallon bit where he would take his guests and do a carpool karaoke?
mm-hmm.
You
Yes.
could have band yap karaoke. That'd be awesome.
I would love to do Band
Oh
Gap
That would be
man,
karaoke.
awesome.
we got to set that up in a booth.
I don't know how, like, how would you, I don't know how to do that. I'm
Oh
sure I could
man,
figure it out,
we
though.
have a karaoke
We do
machine
have a
here.
karaoke
Oh,
machine.
really? You're set.
Yeah, but our kids got a collective 3 karaoke machines for Christmas. They each
Wow.
got a portable, like, tiny one, and then they got, like, a full-sized one. And I guess it wouldn't be that hard. You just connect it to your phone and hand somebody a
Yeah.
microphone.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We always do a we always the staff always goes not always, but we've gone to karaoke before as a staff. And I've only been I'm the only one that'll get up there and sing though, but they have a good time laughing at me. So
You know what we need to do? We need to go back to go axe throwing.
I don't feel like it's right. What Spencer just said. I don't feel like it's right to go to karaoke and sit there and laugh at people and not participate.
I
I
If
agree.
mean,
you were going to partake in the activity, then you need to contribute something too.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
agree. I agree. And yeah, it's like get up there and try it. And they
Yeah.
would be good. They just don't have the nerve. I guess at least they haven't built it up. I don't know.
They don't have the mustard. You got to show them. Do you know what karaoke means?
No,
It means empty orchestra.
really,
Yeah,
It's Jose's favorite Japanese fun fact.
it is.
really. Okay, empty orchestra. Okay, what's the point of that?
What karaoke? It's because it got popular in Japan,
Really?
and
Okay.
that's the word they came out. There's a whole entire backstory. There's another fantastic podcast called Stuff You Should Know, and they do a short
Short stuff.
stuff on karaoke and the origins of karaoke. So if
Oh,
you're
is
ever into like knowledge based podcasts that are outside the band realm, Stuff You Should Know is a fantastic one.
cool. Yeah. So is it
So
Carrie is empty and okay? Is that orchestra?
I believe so.
Huh. Cool.
So the more you know.
Fun fact.
That's also in How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, of course you would know that.
Oh,
course.
my wife's second favorite show of all time.
Is that your second favorite or your first favorite?
I haven't decided. I'm very.
It's between that and Big Bang Theory.
I do
Yeah.
love
One
me
or
some
the
Big
other.
Bang Theory.
Lisa's favorite show is Friends, and has
Mm.
been since college. Her second favorite show is How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
I just they did that last season. Why can't we finish out a show correctly?
Are you talking
Yeah.
about Stranger Things?
No, Stranger Things didn't upset me as
Oh,
much.
Stranger Things didn't really upset me either, but it upset other people.
Yeah.
Purple Rain.
Oh man, Purple Rain.
Some
Oh,
people didn't
here-
like that. I liked it.
Oh, here's a good question. All right, who is the better musician, Michael Jackson or Prince?
Well, as an instrumentalist, it's got to be Prince, but as a, I guess, performer, man, they're tied. As a vocalist, it's got to be Michael. So
Interesting.
I guess it's kind of whatever you deem more important, but certainly as an instrumentalist, Prince is one of the best.
I take a similar viewpoint as you. I think that Michael was overall, like, holistically a better performer. I think Prince was a better musician. But I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. He was absolutely a fantastic guitar player.
Oh yeah,
Have you ever? I
Yeah.
don't remember what
And-
video it is where it was like he didn't get inducted into something or he didn't get an award, but he's playing for somebody that is getting it, and he's just like ripping on a guitar solo because they had snubbed him. It's so good. I don't remember
I
what it
saw
was.
that. Yeah,
It's
I
so
saw that. And he wrote so many amazing songs. I
good.
think Michael Jackson kind of collaborated with other songwriters a lot,
Hmm.
and he would make them better. But man, I think Prince is he wrote most of all of his songs, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're probably
He's so
right.
good.
But man, Purple Rain. Oh,
I
I
know.
didn't realize how long it really was until like I
It's
listened
like
to it
8
again.
minutes long or
Yeah, it's
something.
like forever
It's like
long.
Freebird. It
Yeah.
like just keeps
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, just on and on and on and on. Like, oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Get to the double bar, man.
He's got to say what he needs to say.
That's right.
Purple rain, purple
Mhm.
rain. Great, we're there. The
He's
rain is
emotional,
purple.
Jose.
I'm
Let him
emotional too.
feel. That emotional.
Yeah, well, yeah. Is there a movie you enjoy quoting?
Um, that a movie I enjoy quoting. Off the top of my head, I can't really. I'm sure there are. We've typically always quote goofy movies. Um, there's some funny quotes from the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin. We quote a lot.
And what
But
does he play in that movie? A euphonium.
'Cause
You have damaged your
yeah,
son.
exactly. Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
that's what Steve Carell
Yeah, that's what he actually
played.
plays.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a euphonium
That was
player.
a real thing then. Okay.
That was yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Didn't know
did
that.
that like before before the movie.
Gosh. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I quoted A Bug's Life today.
That
Huh.
was funny.
In
Yeah.
in class?
No, it was after
Yeah, we were in
somebody
the
killed some
office.
ants.
Yeah, somebody killed some ants, and they said something. Oh, like a salt slug, and I go, yeah, I got to order that poo poo platter, which is such an obscure reference.
Yeah.
And I have a knack for like finding like the most minute like quotes in movies and just like spewing them out. And the people are like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, it's from this movie." And they're like, "Who knows that?" I go, well, I
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah. You know it.
Yeah. Do you have a hidden talent?
Um, man, I'm a really good, like I whistle all the time, and it drives my wife kind of crazy around the house. So yeah, I guess my hidden talent is like whistling tunes.
Okay.
So
Do you have like one of those like abrasive whistles where you can like
yeah, it's pretty
silence a room?
shrill. It's pretty
Oh,
shrill, and I have pretty a kind of obnoxious vibrato on it. And it actually is funny because two of my three sons whistle all the time too. They got that from me, and so it just gets on my wife's nerves. We kind of enjoy doing it.
of course.
Yeah, but it is it's pretty shrill and loud, and like I'll add goofy vibrato. But it's funny because a mentor of mine that's actually no longer in the area. He actually relocated to Lake Fork from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Great band director, awesome. Retired, moved to the lake, began. I got caught up with him and began getting help from him and this and that. But he could when he would whistle tunes, he could actually whistle harmonics. Like he could trill on a harmonic, like between like he would play a note and he could trill on like one of the harmonic overtones on the long notes. It was crazy awesome. Never heard anybody else do that before, but it was really interesting.
Huh. Huh.
That was cool.
That is cool.
If someone played you in a movie, who would it be?
Someone played me in a movie. Who would it be? Maybe like maybe Chris Pratt.
I
He's
can see it.
I kind of think his humor and kind of the way he acts and stuff is kind of similar.
Star Lord.
Right. What's a bad habit you wish you could break?
A bad habit I wish I could break. Uh, Probably going down the rabbit hole of YouTube. You know,
Doom scrolling? Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
getting going on. Like I'll pull up something on YouTube to watch, and man, it just perpetuates. And before long, I'm going, I just wasted a good amount of time. Well, that's probably a habit I wish I could break.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. If you
Mhm.
could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh, I've been asked this a bunch, and it by far it'd be to fly. Just I think that would be so awesome to fly wherever you want, go anywhere you want quickly. Because I love flying in airplanes. I'm not really have I don't have a desire to be a pilot like some people do. Not to say that I wouldn't enjoy it or want to do it. I just it's not something I've ever even considered doing. But I love flying in airplanes. I love airports. I love travel. So yeah, flying for sure.
I've never heard anyone say I love airports.
I like
Yeah, isn't
airports.
that weird? Because I do. I love going to airports and yeah. Of course, I we don't typically. I don't tip. I haven't had a lot of crazy bad experiences. Now I have had to spend the night in an airport before,
Ugh.
and I have had to go to a hotel on the airport on the airline's dime because they screwed up a connection. And I've had lots of things happen, but I don't know. It's always been kind of fun and exciting for me. It's not a big deal to me.
Alexa is really into like airport
I knew you were gonna bring this
stuff
up.
and plane like conspiracies. Like
Not
she's
even conspiracies, just you could have stopped at planes.
okay. Like I'm talking about like she still checks in on that Malaysian flight that disappeared.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I literally have the map of the ship that is searching for it right now pulled up on my phone.
So, so they're still looking for that?
But yeah, that so this company called let me
See, here we go. Here we go.
okay.
Welcome.
So
Oh,
there's this company called
yeah, I
Ocean
think it's great.
Infinity.
I'm interested in it too.
Thank you. And they're actually based out of Texas, which
Huh.
is interesting. But they have a no find, no fee agreement with the Malaysian government. And it's like if they find the plane, the Malaysian government will give them $70 million. And if they don't, they get nothing. But they're
Okay,
just out there in the along the seventh arc of the Southern Indian Ocean looking, doing some zigzags, pulling their AUVs.
interesting.
So
Wow.
That is like
anyway,
the such a like a coin flip like deal.
yeah. Well, I think kind of the common thing is that like everyone agrees that the pilot did it because the course like that they think he flew was like programmed into his simulator, and
Hmm.
that's just kind of like the agreed upon theory that like he just very intricately disabled and then ditched the plane and just nobody knows where.
Yeah, that was super interesting to me too when that all went down.
Mhm.
And of course through time it kind of fades from the headline, so I kind of forgot about it. But um, absolutely, yeah, that's interesting.
I think too. I think this is right. I think Ocean Infinity is the same company that found the Air France plane that disappeared, and people were like, "You're never gonna find that," and they found it. And like, there's a sonar image of it that's like, it doesn't make sense how you could find something like that until you see a sonar image of it, and it's still a needle in a haystack type thing. But when you see it, it's like, oh yeah, you can see something on the bottom of the ocean floor, like from yeah.
So are you also like interested in like the submarine explosion when they went down to the Titanic?
That
Yeah, yeah, that interests me too. Yeah, sure did. It was interesting how that happened.
those things all cross paths.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, well,
That was
well,
interesting.
I'm glad we have more things to talk about with Spencer when we're not on the pod.
Yeah.
There you go.
Submarines,
There you go.
I know
airplanes.
you
Well,
better be careful. She's gonna start sending you just like random things. Like, did you see this plane?
yeah, that's cool. I'm all for it. That's cool.
So, if you had any fictional character as a best friend, who would it be? Hank Hill.
I don't know. Let's go. Let's go with Hank Hill again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hank Hill.
Yep, he's my man.
Like, I mean, they don't make TV shows like they used to. They really don't. Okay, if you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would they be?
Any three people? Let's see. Uh, probably. Why not Jesus? That would be interest. That would be interesting. Let's see. General Patton from World War II and Ronald Reagan. I think that would, as you can tell, I'm into
That is
government
a
and politics.
That's a group.
that is a very interesting group.
Hmm.
That's a group.
What are some of the people that y'all have heard that other people have said?
Hmm.
I haven't heard Jesus and I haven't heard Ronald Reagan. The actor?
Yeah,
Anyway, I don't remember who people have said.
There's
Somebody said like
Abraham Lincoln's
somebody
been
said
one.
Percy Granger, I'm pretty
Oh
sure.
yeah. And I said that you would have to invite his mother.
Yeah.
ooh, now that would, yeah, I don't think you'd ever want to play any of his pieces if you met him.
Yeah.
He was strange.
I think somebody said John Philip Sousa.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
There were some good ones. There were some
yeah.
good ones in there.
Okay. Pancakes or waffles?
Me, waffles. I like waffles
Choice.
better.
Same.
Mhm.
What came first, chicken or the egg?
Um, chicken. You gotta have something to lay
Oh.
the egg.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to argue with your reasoning.
Yeah.
If you had a time machine, what historical event would you go to and why?
I would probably go to the Continental Congress uh, in Philadelphia because I really do think those guys were so just. I mean, as you can tell, I love American history and I love government and just civics in general. One of the reasons why we take our kids to Washington every 4 years so everybody can go. And you should. I mean, I love taking these kids to everything in Washington and showing them out, talking about each thing and the significance of everything. Anyway, the Continental Congress would be neat because those guys were so smart at how they set up our country, and they knew so much. I mean, we've only amended the Constitution a handful of times to think about everything they set up. Man, those guys were smart. That would have been interesting.
Okay. I'm going to quote a movie real quick and tell me if you know what movie it is. All right. Ready? Snorkel. See, I can do it too.
No, what that is? What is that?
See,
Why do you do this to me?
Alexa.
It's obscure. It's from National Treasure.
Is it? That's from
It's
National
in
Treasure.
it's in the very like first scene of National Treasure where they're like he says pen and then Riley says snorkel. See, I can do
Oh,
it too.
and
And then
just
he's like
random things.
the iron pen. Yeah. So
I remember that. I remember that scene. I didn't remember exactly what he said, but I remember that scene. Yeah,
well
that's
sometimes
one of my
Jose just
favorite movies.
says he says a random word without following through with like the full thought. He'll just say a random word and then I'll just reply with snorkel.
Yeah, that's good.
And so yeah.
Okay.
That's why he gives me a hard time about it because it's very obscure, but I still quote it.
Right, right. That, hey, that is one of my favorite movies, and I remember that scene. I didn't remember that exactly what he said, but there you go.
Yeah, but that's the whole entire thing is that she makes fun of me because like I'll have a thought and I'll get it out and then she'll go snorkel. See,
Yeah, it's like squirrel. Something goes over here, and your mind just goes over there. I've been known to do that too in the middle of rehearsal or whatever. Just go off on something attend and then have to come back in. And the staff meetings, I'm pretty bad at that too. So our staff meetings are going to last an hour, and like this, 3 hours later, we're still yapping.
yep, yep. If you were a crayon in a box, what color would you be?
I'll probably be blue. It's my kind of, I used to always like green as a kid, but now I like blue better because just I like the way I like the clothes. I like blue clothes and blue. Don't really know why, but blue.
How would you describe your job to an alien who just landed?
I would probably say, we're trying to create harmonious sounds that people enjoy, that give people joy. So that's probably what I would say.
All right. If you had 3 wishes and we're going by the Aladdin rules, what would your wishes be?
What are the Aladdin rules?
You don't know the Aladdin rules? Like you can't
You
wish for
can't
more
wish for
wishes.
more
Can't wish for
wishes.
more wishes.
You
Yeah.
can't
Okay.
wish for
Wish
somebody
for
to fall in
money.
love with you, and
Yeah.
then you can't wish to bring somebody back from the dead.
Oh, okay. Um, if I had 3 wishes, I would probably wish for kind of just eternal energy, where especially with what we do, where you don't have to feel run down or things of that nature. Um, Maybe another wish I would wish for would be my own plane. Why not? That'd be cool since that'd be fun. And then probably a third wish would be to, uh, you know, be able to understand, um, or just to be able to let things go, and not have to feel overly consumed by just things that are going on. We our job's hard, and to be able to let stuff roll off your back, that's a skill. A lot of people, some people have, some people don't. Yeah, I need a genie to help me with that.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Okay, so what is a skill like if you could pick one thing within the year that you wish you could learn? What's a skill or something you wish you could like complete by the end of this year?
As a teacher,
It's anything like personal. Like I told Alexa this. I go, man, I really wish I could learn card magic.
oh, I know exactly what I do. I want to be able to play piano by ear,
That's
Oh,
a good one.
and you know, to be able to just comp behind a group by ear, any key, and play, things like they do in, some of these amazing pianists do in church or do with a combo and group. That would by far be what I'd want to do.
I absolutely love watching people comp at churches.
Oh,
Yeah,
me too.
They're
funny.
like
I watch those
one,
videos all the time.
up, 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 three,
I
four,
know.
five. Like,
Yeah.
"Grr."
And they can modulate, and it's just like as a musician that's done a lot. That's way beyond me. That's just a special gift. I would love to be able to do that.
That makes me think of the video that I showed you the other day, Jose, where I guess it's karaoke, I don't know, but the girl's trying to sing Love on Top by Beyonce, and it's with a live band, and she has no idea what she's doing. She's looking at her phone for the words, which is fine, but none of the sounds are correct. And so the keyboard player is like playing chords, and then all of a sudden he's playing the melody, and he's trying to get her
Help
to
her out.
sing. Yeah, and it's so good. And the whole time they're all just like stone faced, like just playing, and it's so bad.
There's
But
a there's some funny videos of like really bad vocalists singing a cappella, and like this dude tries to play the accompaniment, and he modulates every time the vocalist tries to modulate, constantly changing keys and stuff. Oh, it's hilarious.
that's
Uh,
hilarious.
It's like
or just
singing the national anthem.
having perfect pitch would be maybe one of my wishes too. That would be great to have
No
perfect
one's ever
pitch.
wished for that.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
It is a blessing and a curse, but the thing perfect pitch helps is like I don't know if you watch much Charlie Puth explaining the way he writes songs,
Uh,
but just hearing chords in your head and knowing what they are. I don't necessarily want perfect pitch to be able to know what letter name a note is when I hear it, but to hear a chord in my head and know what that chord is without having to search around for it, man, that would make
Like all the chord tones and like, yeah,
yeah, that would make writing. That's why for him it's so easy because he
that's
can hear a
nice.
chord in his head and he knows what chord it is. He can go to the piano and just play that chord. Uh,
That's crazy.
and and like I hear stuff in my head a lot, and we we produce and rearrange and redo jazz charts all the time in my jazz ensemble class, and I hear chords in my head, and I'm like trying to figure out what chord it is. But man, if I could take that away and just know it, man, that would make life easy.
Mhm.
mm.
Yeah.
So, who would be on your Mount Rushmore of music education?
Mount Rushmore of music education. Well, for sure, it would be the people that have been most influential on me, for me, no question about it. Probably James Kaufman, Rob Toops, um, Randy Jones, and probably maybe Harvey Durham. Those guys have just really been really great band directors and mentors of mine. Now, as far as just pipe dream, historical band directors, there's lots of great band directors. We talked about some of them, in but I don't really have connections with those. Some of those, as if I had to make a Mount Rushmore, it had to mean something to me,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're doing a lot of work for that.
Yeah, yeah,
So if we come to East Texas and we visit Sulphur Springs, where is the place we have to go eat?
man. My favorite place in East Texas is actually out in the middle of nowhere, but there's a fine dining steakhouse between Wills Point and Canton called Four Winds, and it is they raise their own beef, and it's this really high end restaurant. You have to get a reservation way in advance. This place is so cool that we saw Deion Sanders there.
Oh,
Yeah, Deion Sanders has a summer house in Canton, and this is between Canton and Wills Point, just off I-20 actually. And man, it's the best. It is the best steak you'll ever have. It's just so good. Yeah, it's awesome. Four Winds. If you're ever up this way, you need to get your reservation.
I'm sold on that.
yeah.
Yep.
So am I.
It's awesome.
All right. I got one, technically two questions. All right. So the last round. Is there a Dairy Queen in your hometown?
Yes, there is.
Texas stop sign.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
There's been a Dairy Queen in every town I've lived in, and it's been and there have been places I've lived. We actually lived in the Panhandle when I was born for the first 5-6 years of my life, and both my parents are from the Panhandle, believe it or not. But there's been times where that was one of the only places to eat in town, so we had a lot of Dairy Queen. Yep.
What's your DQ order?
Probably just a regular Hunger Buster with cheese. That's what I like. Actually, you know what? I like the dude. I like the dude.
All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, do you have a Blizzard order?
Oh man, my favorite Blizzard order. They only have it once in a while, but it was called the Cookie Monster, and it had pieces of like oatmeal cookie
Ooh.
in it with chocolate chips, and I don't know what else, but it was awesome. Yeah, the Cookie
That
Monster.
sounds good.
Yeah, no, I can get down on that.
It was good, man. Yeah, that summer they had that, man. I was back and forth to DQ quite often. So
You're like, I consumed a lot of calories that summer.
it's funny because we have two DQs in Sulphur Springs, and there's one, the original one that's real old, is over by downtown by my wife's campus. And sometimes we can go in there and say, hey, especially if I've got a student working in there, I'm like, hey, can you make this, and this in a Blizzard for me? So we could just create our own. It's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Kind of the benefits of having students working places, right?
Oh yeah. So, well, Spencer, I think that's all I got.
I don't.
Well, we had a good old yap.
That it was a yap. Well, Spencer, thank you so much for taking the time out of your night to talk to us. We look forward to hearing your band do some more fantastic things in the near future. State marching contest, honor band stuff. Like we know you're gonna rock. So thank you so much for being on Band Yap.
Man, thank you for the invitation, brother. And man, good luck to y'all with your clinic at TMEA, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's all I got.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to Band Yap. We'll see you next time. Bye.
We out.